Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. 3 of the biggest banks in the U.S., Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Chase, have each made pledges to make more black people homeowners. But despite their efforts, the black homeownership rate is still stuck at about 45%. That's nearly 30% lower on average than the white homeownership rate. So why aren't these policies working? Diedrich Asante Muhammad is Chief of Membership, Policy, and Equity at the National Community Reinvestment Coalition, and he says that while the banks are acknowledging the problem, their policies aren't specific enough and might be misleading.
Some of these pledges are overly broad, where you could say, we're doing billions of dollars in order to bridge racial wealth divide, but not really clarifying, well, how much of that, let's say it's $3 billion, how much of that lending were you already doing the previous years?
Homeownership is a key to gaining wealth, which makes it a key to addressing the wealth gap. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Hey there, you and aisle 2. I see you by the fiber and laxatives. You still using those to manage your constipation with belly pain? If your symptoms keep coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. So you may need more than over-the-counter treatments to manage it. Ask your doctor about how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears. Breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Sherwin, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
To Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. I haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, man, but I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Wednesday, April 10th, 2024. I don't know what you heard about me, but I like all people. All the different races of people and the cultures of people and the different ethnicities. I think people are fantastic. Now, within the different races and cultures and ethnicities and people of different national origins. There's bad people. But because someone is of a particular race or culture or ethnicity or national origin does not damn all of those other people from that same race, ethnicity, national origin, et cetera, et cetera. I try not to stereotype. However, I will on occasion paint with a broad brush because I cannot, as an individual person, account for all of the differences that exist between people. Like yesterday when I talked about gender differences and perspectives of relationships, people get mad because I'll say, well, women do this or men do this, or in marriages this happens, or in divorces this happens, and there's always going to be some individual differences. So I'm just giving that disclaimer now. However, there are cases in which a race of people, let's take black people, and I love black people a lot. You have to love black people. How could you not love us? We're creative. We're nice. Some of us dance well. Some of us play very good sports ball. We're sports ball players. Everybody loves to watch their favorite black play sports ball. How can you not love us? We create things. We invent things. We have thrived and survived and uplifted and been dynamic in a nation that we can agree has not always been very fair to us. But also keeping in mind that black culture, when I asked you guys to define it a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, we don't even really have a definition, which is fine because that means that we are everything. We are everything. We are everyone. We can be anywhere. We are everywhere. We're all over the place. This is good. This is what we want black to be. We want it to be ubiquitous with humanity. But even though we're different levels of education, we live in different neighborhoods. Some of us drive electric cars. No shame in my game. Now, hold on. No, don't just think your boy is a crusader for the environment, because if you offer me a ticket on a private jet, I'm polluting. Hey, climate change be damned. I'll get on a PJ. But amongst the differences in African Americans, there's something that we stand so firmly together on, no matter where we are in life, because there's very wealthy black people. There's like 100, maybe 1,000. There's a bunch, a lot. Well, wealthy is a whole different category of having money. Diddy is wealthy, right? Well, he was. I don't know what's going to happen to him, but bruh. First of all, Diddy is getting framed. Just leave him alone. He didn't. Just because they accuse him of some stuff, and his son apparently, that doesn't mean they're guilty. Leave Diddy alone for the time being. Bill Cosby, on the other hand, yeah, Bill did that stuff.
Oh, that was different.
That being said, there is a particular issue that no matter who you are, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, we all come together on this issue because it's a bridge too far every single time it happens. And it's when the police kill an unarmed black man. Nothing stops us in our tracks faster than when we hear about the police killing an unarmed African-American person. It could be a girl, a child, it could be Tamir Rice, any one of us that gets killed by the police when we are not a threat, when we are not armed, is the cause of major protests. It's the cause of social change. There is sometimes upheavals. Freddie Gray in Baltimore, that city rioted. That was back in 2014, 2015, Mike Brown in Ferguson. Then we have the surfacing of a whole movement called Black Lives Matter because we thought we had to tell the country, hey, as a reminder, our lives matter. But also to really clearly illustrate the give and the take and the push and the pull of the United States whenever you have a movement that seeks to recognize, organize, and galvanize oppressed people, America is going to respond with the opposite. Give you a couple examples of that. Women came out and said, hey, me too. Been sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, been disrespected, treated poorly and unfairly. Women were saying they were coming out in droves. So then what do men do? Men responded by no longer having business meetings with women, not promoting women, further exacerbating the income gap. And then we're going to talk about what they did in Arizona, taking the abortion law back to 1864. So if women have a movement in which they want to be recognized, they want to be respected, and they want people to be thrown in jail for crimes that they have committed, if they want the world to know what has been happening to them, in some cases very quietly, because a lot of women don't come forward, men responded with, let's just say, great vigor. We had a black president in this country. Remember him? Remember the good old days? Remember? Oh, I was so fond of the black president, who was apparently a Muslim from Kenya, born in Indonesia, whatever. His middle name was Hussein. That's fine. But that was when you had a president that you could trust. He was nice. He used to smoke Newports. He played basketball. He was great. I liked him very much. I voted for him twice. Not twice in the same election, but twice, once in 2008 and then in 2012. Y'all ain't going to catch me on voter fraud. Not this time, you're not. And how did America respond with the successful election and re-election of a black African-American, maybe part Muslim, not American citizen? He had to show his birth certificate. His daddy was from Kenya. Mother was from Kansas, whatever that means. How do we respond to that? Do we respond by saying, wow, racism is coming to an end. We should elect more black people because he did a good job. Houses were being foreclosed on. Banks were going belly up. Our car industry was in very, very bad shape. We had 2 wars going on. Barack Obama came in with all of his black powers and said, I'm going to fix all this. I'm going to fix it. And what did Joe Biden do? Joe Biden was just sitting there riding along. He created the Affordable Care Act. Obama did some good things, even if you don't like him because of his party affiliation, or you don't like him because he was a biracial Muslim from Indonesia whose mother was from Kansas, whose father was from Muslandia or wherever his daddy was from. Even if you don't like him, you have to admit that where the country was when he took office compared to where the country was when he left office, like, things were a lot better. You were better off after 8 years of Obama. But how did the country respond? We responded with Donald Trump. You couldn't get more opposite than that. So whenever there is a movement, a positive one that causes this nation to be much more self-reflective on who this nation actually is, there's always going to be some kind of a response. You have a backlash to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why would you, in a melting pot country, have a backlash to that? I got this article here. I hope I get to it. If I don't get to it today, I have to get to it tomorrow, where if certain banned books, first of all, I don't even know why we're talking about banning books in America. This is we're getting real Nazi these days. We're becoming very swastika-like in this nation. I don't like it. And most of y'all just sitting by and watching it happen. But there's a law. I think the state is Missouri, where if a banned book is in a library, the librarian will go to prison just by having the book in the library. If it's on the banned list, if the book appears in the library, then the librarian is going to have a felony. That's insane to me. And it's a very small minority of people, like 23% of the country, which is like the MAGA cohort, the ones that don't want the children learning about the diversity, the equity, and the inclusion. Because if you keep children in the dark, you can continue to fool them and lie to them as adults, right? So you have this small cohort of people, like the diehard MAGA Republicans. And here's what's interesting about them. The percentage in which they represent in the United States overall as a population is the same percentage of people that don't even read books. I need you to think about this for a second, because this is your country where you pay taxes. The percentage of people in this nation that will admit that they have not read a book in the last 12 months are the same people that are trying to ban books, and it's working. You need to make that make sense to me. The people that don't read, wait for it, don't want you to read either, because you might get all smart and high and mighty. You might get all intelligent and learn big words and whatnot. Nobody can read these books. But also, when you dissolve history or don't tell history, or if you want to have an accurate account of what happened in this nation in a chronological order, and if young people are not learning about that, then you can have someone like Donald Trump compare himself to Nelson Mandela. Did y'all hear this the other day? And the only person even really got outraged by that was Al Sharpton. And Al Sharpton gets outraged by pretty much everything. And I love Reverend Al. Met him on a number of occasions. He's a great guy. But Al Sharpton will get mad if he can't get in to get his hair permed. You know what I mean? Like, I tried to get my hair permed and it made me wait 2 days. He'll get mad at all sorts of stuff. But when you have a cohort of people that don't read books, that are trying to ban books that can actually help inform a very misinformed country, we have a problem. When the police kill an unarmed black man, there is an immediate response from the black community, and it doesn't even matter where it is. Now, usually the protests will begin in the city, in the town, in the county, in the state in which it happened, but they quickly will spread because African Americans, no matter who we are or where we are, what level of education we have, we see ourselves in that person who was victimized by the police. And then you get all of the stories that people tell about when they were pulled over by the police and how they've been harassed. And we know this full well. Well, here's the part that I don't get. Shouldn't we just be against police violence against unarmed people, right? Yes. When the police shoot someone who is unarmed, as black people, we relate to that because I can name you dozens of people who have been killed by the police, sometimes shot dozens and dozens of times, and they only had a cell phone or they had a sandwich, or in one case, a man was running away and the police shot him in the back. Anytime that happens, we as black people need to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong. A couple of days ago, maybe some of you are familiar with this story, and I'm doing this because I want to show a level of hypocrisy. And if there's any group of people that identify as something, and if they're hypocrites, I'm going to call them out. Sometimes I'm a hypocrite. Not a lot, but sometimes. And you guys call me out. Police shot and killed a white man in Waukesha. He was attempting to steal a car. He was being uncooperative. Shot him and they killed him. Nary a whimper. Shouldn't we, as black people, be the first one to say, hey, that's not supposed to happen. Don't kill anybody that's not armed. And nobody says anything. So, okay, our community, fine. I get it. If it's a white person, we'll justify a white person getting shot by the police. Wait for it. Like white people justify us when we get shot by the police. Well, what was he doing? Well, why was he there? Was he not cooperating? We become hypocrites on an issue that gets black people out of the house, out of bed, off the couch, into the streets, and we'll burn stuff down. If the cops shoot an unarmed black man, something gonna get barbecued. Now, I ain't talking about hamburgers and ribs and chicken. Something's gonna get burnt down. I want to talk about that. I'm gonna take a break, come back. A 50-year-old Caucasian man was killed, quote unquote, attempting to steal a car in Waukesha, and nobody really says anything about it. And why isn't the white community protesting? Why do they not care when one of theirs gets shot by the police? You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call, That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 101.7 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call, That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a job? Direct Connect MKE is a social media style platform that empowers you to grow your social network, find career opportunities, and connect with career specialists for success. Visit joindcmke.com today to learn how you can create a profile, upload your resume, and find access to information about jobs, job training, hiring events, and more. DCMKE is locally focused and equips you to grow your social capital and find opportunities that match your career interests. Here's how it works. Join DCMKE and their partner organizations and follow the employees that you find interesting. Then, meet the career advocates in DCMKE's community to start forming meaningful career relationships. And lastly, scroll through your feed to find and apply to new career opportunities and get matched to openings by career advocates. Yeah, it's that easy. Access to great opportunities at the tips of your fingers. Visit joindcmke.com today and connect your dream to reality. That's joindcmke.com.
When it comes to getting the smile of your dreams, you can't just trust anyone. So look no further than Bouban Orthodontics. Bouban Orthodontics is Wisconsin's #1 Invisalign provider and has been providing the best value for braces and Invisalign since 1993. With 15 convenient locations, you're sure to find one in your area. Schedule your free consultation today. Call or text 262-522-7447 or visit BoubanOrtho.com. Bouban Orthodontics, a family treating families.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This world is so dramatic. Bye-bye, yeah. I can't believe that we're still living. Oh, in this crazy, crazy world that I'm still living. With all the problems of the day, how can we go on? So tired of hearing people say, how can we go on?
The point I was trying to illustrate, I can actually go a couple different ways with this. So during the Obama administration, his 2 terms, like African American men were making really good progress. More African Americans were getting elected all over the country. We were making great progress because when we went to go vote for Barack Obama, if there was another African American on that same ballot in a city, in a state, in a county, they benefited from the influx of new voters that Barack Obama brought into the body politic. But then you notice something else, an uptick in the number of police killings of unarmed black men, women, and children. So that was the backlash. Whenever there is something that appears to move this nation in a positive, progressive, forward direction, there is a cohort of people that want to revert back in time. They want to stop that progress, and we use fear, we use intimidation. I mean, that's what the entire January 6th thing was about. We were going to, when I say we, us as a nation, because those people are Americans, even though there were foreign actors in that crowd, but they don't talk about that. You know how much spy equipment they actually found in the U.S. Capitol when the U.S. Capitol was breached? Those weren't just mad Trump supporters. There were foreign agents in that crowd. They were ransacking members of Congress, the House of Representatives, and the U.S. Senate, their offices, looking for government secrets. They had Nancy Pelosi's computer, and the woman tried to sell it. Obama's presidency saw a number of African Americans get elected to office, and we, as black people, we like that because then we'll have people in office that see the world the way we do, even though black people may see the world differently. We do have some commonalities, right? And so there was a backlash to that. And we saw an increase in unarmed African-American men, women, and children getting killed as if to push back on the positive progress that black Americans were making. It's amazing because America's always told us what to do, and to some extent they still do. As black men, they tell us where to go, what to do, how to act, how to wear our pants, what music to listen to. And if any of those things that we do go counter and contrary to what status quo American culture is, then they ostracize us. But see, sometimes we listen, don't we? Sometimes we do exactly what we're supposed to do. We study hard, we get our little education, we get married and stay married, we have families, we're good fathers, and we do the right thing, and we get promoted. And then America hates that. Even when we do what we're supposed to do, when we stay between the lines and we follow all of the rules and we don't break any laws and we're not gangsters and thugs and we don't have illegal guns, when we do everything right, they still want to have a backlash against us. And that's why it's particularly painful when you see an unarmed black man that gets killed by the police, because we don't know what potential he could have had. We don't know if he would have been the next Obama or the next Cory Booker, or if it's a woman, the next Kamala Harris. So we get very upset and we protest because we want America to know that our lives are worth living and they're worth examining, that we are important, and that our lives matter. But because we deal with that so frequently, and we have dealt with that since our inception into this country, let's be clear about this, the country never really wanted us. They wanted us for profit. We were capital and we performed labor. But then once we were emancipated, now we were hated. Now we were the enemy. Instead of looking as black people as, okay, you're a part of this country now, you're also skilled labor. Let's build the country together. Civil rights all should have happened in one fell swoop. With the Emancipation Proclamation should have come voting rights, property rights, access to public education, all of the public accommodations, but it didn't. It took another 100 years. But don't worry, black folks are patient. 100 years it took from the ending of the Civil War through the civil rights legislation that was passed in the late 1960s, but we kept at it. But there are still some nagging truths about the black experience, and it's our interaction with the police. And sometimes those encounters, and black mamas and black daddies got to tell their black children, they got to have that talk, don't they, with their children. Hey, when you get around the police, here's how you got to act. You got to be very mindful of your mannerisms and how you talk, and you have to make sure that you're cooperating because they will kill you. And we've had that discussion before, and you all have had that discussion with your children. I don't know if white parents have that discussion with their children because they don't need to. But as black people, shouldn't we be alarmed whenever a person that is unarmed is killed by the police? Because it's going to be us next, right? I'm surprised it wasn't us this time. And when I heard about the story, I just assumed that this was an African-American man because it fit the narrative. Stealing a car, right? Out there in Waukesha where you're not supposed to be anyway. But one of the articles, most of the articles that you read about this man who has not yet been identified, we just know he is 50 years old. His wife did speak to the media, but she didn't want to give her name. One of the articles said that he was white. And so once I found that out, I went Googling, I went searching for other articles to verify that fact, and it has been, in fact, verified. But why aren't people upset about it? Because if it was an African-American man that was unarmed trying to steal a car, so even in the commission of a crime, right, because that shouldn't be a death sentence. Do we agree? If somebody's committing a crime or they're allegedly committing a crime, the cops just can't come kill them. You get arrested, you get arraigned, you get a court date, right? You plead. There's a whole legal process that plays out, or it's supposed to, if someone is accused of committing a crime. But the cops play at executioner. It was a bunch of cops, too. It was like 4 or 5 of them that showed up. They've been identified, the police officers. Their body camera footage is going to be released. But why is there no outrage? From the Waukesha Freeman, Waukesha police officer shot and killed a 50-year-old suspect early Tuesday morning. Officers responded to a CarMax dealership at 2441 Casal Road at 2:30 a.m. for a theft in progress. This was reported by a third-party security monitoring service, according to a release by Dan Bauman, who is a captain with the Waukesha Police Department. Officers were in the area for a previous call, and they saw the suspect. According to the release, the suspect continued to quickly walk away and wouldn't follow officers' commands. The officers attempted to engage with the suspect in they're saying in the article, a peaceful manner, the release said. The release said the suspect appeared to be drawing a firearm, which posed an immediate danger to officers. Could you imagine if this was a black man and then the police said, oh, they appeared to be drawing a firearm, so we shot him? Because that's a likely story, because the police always have to give a narrative that they felt like their lives were in danger, right? The release said the suspect appeared to be drawing a firearm, which posed an immediate danger to officers. Officers attempted to gain control of the situation using verbal commands and non-lethal steps. The release also said, in response to the immediate threat posed by the suspect, the officers discharged their firearms, striking the suspect. So he didn't have a gun, but apparently he made a motion like he was drawing a firearm. And then, of course, the police officers took that as a threat, and they shot and they killed him. Why no outrage? Or I'm more concerned about, because the whites are going to be the minority. So whites, get used to this, because this is part of what comes with being the minority. The police are going to badger you and mess with you, and they're going to be mean to you. But why no outrage? Why are there no protests? And even from black leaders, do we not care when someone of a different race in a different county, nearby, not far away, nearby, gets shot by the police? Do we say they deserve it, or do we justify a Caucasian man getting shot and killed by the police like white people justify when a black man, woman, or child gets shot by the police? I'm going to take a break, come back. I'm going to talk to a couple of people at 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017 is our talk and text line. If you got commentary or if you have an answer for me, why we don't say anything when a white person gets shot by the cops, because it's just as outrageous as now he was unarmed. He didn't have a gun. They should have just arrested him. How come they didn't taser him? Taser will knock you out. Except for this one video I saw of a fat lady at Walmart. They tased her like 3 times. She kept stealing. I'd never seen nothing like that before in my whole life. You ever seen somebody get tased and just keep going, and then other people get tased? They just, they fall out and start twitching and shaking. Then there's some people get tased and they die. This is a fat lady. Is that offensive if I say that? Is that offensive to fat people? She was overweight. Oh, it is. I can't say fat. She's big.
I don't know.
Okay. She took that taser like a champ, and she kept stealing. She was just in Walmart just stealing. You're going to have to do more than that. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's early in the year, and we're trying to hit these fitness goals. 0 to 100 Fitness is dedicated to the Milwaukee community, offering affordable and quality fitness and mixed martial arts programs for the last 10 years. They have competitive and novice classes in MMA, kickboxing, and grappling for all skill levels and ages. From youth, community outreach, women's self-defense, and personal safety programs, 0 to 100 Fitness will help you on your journey to greatness. So get up off the couch and into the best shape of your life. Call 414-522-1275 today.
Looking for natural solutions to ease your mind and body? Find your calm and get cozy at Torch CBD with their hemp-infused teas, or boost your health with broad-spectrum CBD products. From CBD-infused cooking oil, honey and coffee, to body creams, edibles, and smokable flower. Torch CBD, located at 3419 West State Street in Milwaukee, is ready to help with all your trauma, anxiety, and sleep issues. Stop by Torch CBD today and relax your mind.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
This is a true story by Tory Lowe. A commotion unfolds as 2 women argue inside of a car. The situation escalates when one woman pleads with a bystander asking for help to remove another woman from her car. The bystander, confused and concerned, asks, "Who is this woman?" She explains that she took her to church but wants her out before something bad happens. An older man, apparently familiar with the situation, approaches and demands the young woman in the backseat to leave. he threatens to involve the police. The bystander asks the woman outside of the car what the woman in the back seat did. She mentions something involving a child. The bystander immediately knew it was serious. The older man heads into Walmart to call the police while the bystander calmly approaches the woman in the back seat. He offers her to take her home out of fear for the woman's safety. The woman agrees to leave the car, but chaos ensues when the woman who requested her removal starts acting even more erratically. The woman from the backseat starts screaming, prompting the bystander to act quickly. A passing male driver offers to take the woman home, and the bystander agrees. They recognize each other from past encounters, establishing a sense of trust. As the woman leaves with the Good Samaritan, the bystander wishes them well and exchanges sentiments with the Good Samaritan. The situation was resolved just as the police arrived. The bystander informs the police the issue has been resolved and bids them a blessed day.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Julian Johnson. The Milwaukee Bucks get back in the win column after defeating the Boston Celtics 104-91 Tuesday. The Bucks hit the hardwood again versus the Orlando Magic tonight at Pfizer Forum. Coverage begins at 6:30 on 94.5 ESPN. The Milwaukee Brewers are now 7-3 to start the season. They defeated the Cincinnati Reds Tuesday 9-5. They face the Reds again tonight. Coverage begins at 5:05 on our sister station 620 WTMJ. The Green Bay Packers are heading to Brazil for week 1 of their 2024 season. They'll play the Philadelphia Eagles in Sao Paulo on September 6th. This is the NFL's first ever game in South America. This sports update is presented by Associated Bank, proudly supporting our hometown teams, member FDIC.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Let's talk to Ashley. Thank you for holding. How are you, Ashley? You're on 1017 The Truth.
I'm doing good this morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. What's on your mind?
So, I just wanted to say I was listening to this conversation about Black people and their response or lack thereof to the gentleman that was shot by the police. I just want to say, well, for one, I haven't seen any Black people saying, well, what did he have on, or did he have on a hood, which we often hear when it does happen to Black people. But I'm just wondering, why isn't it not considered that Black people are exhausted? We are tired. So not that we necessarily don't care, but we're fighting every day, literally with ourselves and others, just in our own communities. Why is it always looked at for the Black people to always have something to say? We have to be the one. If we don't say anything, it's always looked down upon or frowned upon because we go through stuff ourselves. Wouldn't that be like something that people look at and consider, seeing that we are constantly going through stuff? Maybe we're tired. We're busy fighting for ourselves and have been since we touched this soil.
Yeah, but that's always the case, though. But the contrast I'm trying to bring up is, even though we know Black folks is going through stuff every single day, you're right. Black folks are very, very tired. But if a Black man, woman, or child that is unarmed gets shot by the police, we will stop everything that we're doing. We will stop being tired, and that will be our focus. So all I'm trying to say is that getting unarmed people getting shot by the police is something that we can relate to, and I think that African Americans, having a deep amount of experience with that, would be concerned when anybody who was unarmed gets shot by the police, because if it happens to somebody else, it's going to happen to us next. But you're saying because we have so much other stuff going on, we don't have time to pay attention to that. Or we can just say because he's white.
Not even time to pay attention, but that we are exhausted. Like, I feel like at some point we have to consider, we're always, and I do believe we're superhuman, but we got to get some grace too. We're always expected to do everything.
I'm not expecting us to I'm just expecting us to have concern. I'm not expecting nobody to protest.
And this is my thing. I don't feel like what have you, just because you haven't heard it mean people aren't concerned. I feel like people express their concerns in different ways. As long as they continue to be against police brutality, that should be it. Maybe this man won't get a name, like his name posted, or people won't know him like Trayvon Martin. Shoot, there's black people that don't even get the recognition that some other black people have within this journey. It's just, we're always expected to go above and beyond when we're given scraps. And not only that, not taking anything.
So you think
from
about
this
being
man,
concerned about police brutality, that's us going above and beyond? No, that's just us being consistent.
No, I'm saying as far as the mental health aspect, it is above and beyond. We're literally going through some mentally draining stuff every day of our lives, especially here in Milwaukee. Every day, from our personal lives, other people around us in our community, down the street, in other urban cities in America, even all over the world. So after a while, it's like, can we get, this is one situation where black people aren't turned up. And it's like when we do have the situations where we aren't turned up how people think that we should, it's like, what are you guys doing? You guys got, especially when we don't, that's not reciprocated for us either. Not saying that's why black people aren't as responsive for this man, because that's definitely not the case for me. But for me,
let's take the man out of it.
Myself.
When we hear about an unarmed person being killed by the police, isn't that something? This is a reason why, as you stated, why black folks are tired, because that kind of stuff happens to us. So when we see it happening, and we are being silent, because if that was an African-American man, woman, or child, we'd be coming out the woodwork. We would stop what we're doing, and this would be our primary focus.
But let's be truthful. Does this happen at the level? I'm not saying the number rate, because we already know the statistics are skewed, saying that there's more white people than black people, but the rate of it happens to black people much more often. This is not something that
per
happens
capita, yes, but the police kill more white people than they kill black people. That's fundamentally true.
And that's why. And that's what I said. There's more white people, so yes, they will kill more white people.
Okay.
So
to sum it up, because I got two other people that are on hold, you think because we're tired and we have a whole bunch of other stuff and we're dealing with mental illness and all sorts of other things,
and that is not always our responsibility to be the face of standing up for somebody. That's tiring. It's exhausting.
Fair enough. All right, thank you, Ashley. Appreciate your call.
You're welcome.
All right, say you're welcome. All right, then let's talk to Miss Rose. You're on the new 101.7 The Truth, even though we're not really new anymore. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I would just like to remind the people how important their vote would have been. While Chairman Spencer was the city attorney, no killings took place because of the in-depth questioning of the officers. And that killing with this news to right after he lost, there's a killing. That tells me the police now feel okay to kill versus let's see what type of interrogation allows those police some sort of responsibility following with punishment of a respectful nature of punishment, and not go without any in-depth questioning of like our former city attorney. If he were there, I can almost guarantee you they would not feel safe in doing what they're doing.
Ms. Rose, point of clarity. This happened in Waukesha, and Chairman Spencer was the city attorney in Milwaukee. Two completely separate jurisdictions.
Milwaukee police. I've heard that the city of Milwaukee police were handling it.
Because there's an outside agency that investigates. So the police in Waukesha don't investigate themselves. There's an outside agency that's called in Milwaukee. This happens to be the agency that is investigating.
It doesn't matter where it is.
It 100% matters where it is.
No, because the police, they know that Milwaukee was going to still be involved because it's still in the county. So therefore.
No, it's not in the county. What are we talking about? The same thing here? Chairman Spencer erroneously said that when he was city attorney that he ended qualified immunity for the Milwaukee police, which he did not. We just caught a string of good cards while he was city attorney where not many black people got shot by the police, and he wanted to attribute that to him being city attorney. This is a situation that happened in another county and another city.
It's a psychological thing that goes all over Waukesha, all these other places. There's the same mentality. And if you have somebody that you're afraid might interfere, you will not do a lot of things. Even if it's not direct, it can be indirect because there is an interrelationship with all the police force in the whole county of Milwaukee. That's what I want to share, okay?
Oh, all right. Thank you. All right, then. I ain't never been more confused in my life. Why would she Hang on a second now. Wait. I said this happened in Waukesha, and then she brought up the Milwaukee city attorney. The Milwaukee police is the outside agency that is investigating the officer-involved shooting that took place in Waukesha. That has nothing to do with Milwaukee police officers inflicting brutality on anybody. They're just the agency that's investigating. Like if a Milwaukee cop shoots somebody in Milwaukee, Waukesha or Germantown or Franklin or St. Francis might be the agency that investigates, because we don't allow the police to investigate themselves. That was a Scott Walker era law. All right, I'm going to take a break, come back, and talk to Rick, and maybe he'll confuse us even more. I love being confused because that makes my job easy. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, join the Truth Team on Saturday, April 13th for our third annual Tory Low Community Cleanup. We want you to go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up and be a volunteer to help keep Milwaukee clean. Everyone who joins will get a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today at truthcommunitycleanup.com. That is truthcommunitycleanup.com to clean and beautify our city together. The Truth Community Cleanup is sponsored by Cousin Subs and Safe and Sound.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Justice is about receiving what we deserve. Quote Audre Lorde, who said, "There is no such thing as a single-issue struggle because we do not live single-issue lives." And that said, any freedom, including reproductive freedom, is our human right to decide what is best for our own lives. Reproductive freedom is about having bodily autonomy, which is the same as being able to control what happens to our bodies, including the decision to continue or terminate a pregnancy, rests with the pregnant person at all times and in all circumstances. Because when rights don't apply to all individuals and at all times, they are not rights. They are not rights. And as Black people, our rights are conditional way too often, whether we're talking about during police encounters, quality housing, or, some job opportunity.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute on the new 1017 The Truth.
Hey Milwaukee, my name is Martina, and I'm with the Independent Living Supports Pilot Program team. We help adults 55 plus and those 18 plus living with disabilities, providing up to $7,200 for home services, medical equipment, home modifications, and more. There's less than 30 days left to sign up for this program. See if you qualify today. Call 414-289-6874. Again, that's 414-289-6874. This program is made possible by Milwaukee County and Wisconsin Department of Health and Human Services.
Happy Financial Literacy Month from Educators Credit Union. If you're dreaming of financial freedom, new ways to pay down debt, or tips to invest in your future, Educators Credit Union can help. They offer budgeting tools, personal finance courses, and debt solutions to turn your financial dreams into reality. Learn more at ECU.com. That is ECU.com. Membership at Educators Credit Union is open to anyone who lives or works in southeastern Wisconsin, and they are federally insured by NCUA. Introducing your trusted partner for all your freight transportation needs. It is Out the Mud Hauling. From local to long distance hauls, they ensure seamless, timely deliveries for businesses nationwide. They offer a variety of services like cross-docking, order fulfillment, debris removal, hazardous material handling, pallet storage, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned shipper or an aspiring entrepreneur, trust Out the Mud Hauling for all your trucking needs across the USA. Contact them today at 262-278-1595. Out the Mud Hauling.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Zach Zuri said, "I love when it's Brother Z and Sherwin. Brother B be on it like no one else with the inserts and commentary." And so there you go.
Bruh.
Compliment. And then Zuri also said, "Oh, I heard Sherwin's truth take. It is fire. Choices being an illusion is what I got from it." So I think I recorded that
last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was like last week. I don't even remember really what I said. I just came off the dome.
Yeah, you did it off the dome in one take too.
One take Jake. That's what they call me. All right, well, glad you liked it. Maybe I'll hear it because I haven't heard it.
I didn't hear it either.
All right, well, somebody liked it, so that's fine. Let's talk to Rick. Thank you for holding. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Good morning. Miss Rose just got it mixed up and confused, that's all. Bless her heart. But anyway, I am outraged about the shooting, and I'm not a organizer, but when they get it organized, I will join in the protest. And this is just a thing they use. I felt threatened. I haven't seen the tape or the video, but did the man turn towards them? The man was had his back turned, didn't he?
We will only know that when we see the body camera footage. And here's the thing, we may never see it. The family may see it because I don't know if there's any obligation to release the body camera footage to everybody. Maybe the media gets it and maybe they broadcast it for us to see, but we may never see it. All I know is that he was unarmed. Apparently he did a motion like he was drawing a gun, but he didn't have a gun and they killed him. Oh, he's gone. He just thought he was going to complete his thought. Now, I didn't mean for this to be controversial for y'all to get angry, but I like to call out inconsistencies because contrast is easy to discuss. So as black people, maybe we need to just be a little bit more clear. We only care when police officers kill other black people that are unarmed. So if the police kill an Asian kid, oh well, we're tired. We have so much other stuff to worry about. We can't worry about when the police kill an Asian kid or if the police kill a Latino kid. Oh, well, I hope the Latino community figures that out. Shouldn't we be against police brutality? Isn't that how we build bridges? Because if there's another community, and it's, you know what it is usually? It's class. I want you to notice something. Maybe you've noticed it already. Rich people don't get killed by the police. Ever. Why is that? That's a rhetorical question. Like, I don't have the answer to it. When was the last time you heard billionaire John Winston Winthorpe IV shot by the police in his Maybach limousine? He was unarmed. Poor people and working class people get shot by the police regardless of your race. Now, I don't have the data on that, but I can just go ahead and assume that wealthy people don't get shot by the police. And wealthy people, just because you have money doesn't make you a good person. They commit crimes. They lie, cheat, steal. They do all sorts of stuff. A lot of times that's how they got wealthy in the first place, by being immoral and doing things that are illegal, but the police don't kill them. It's a class issue, so race shouldn't matter. If someone gets shot by the police that is unarmed, it can be anyone who is not rich. Or I think this is how we justify it. We think if we get rich, then we will be protected as well. Black rich people don't get shot by the police, but they get framed, right? Like they get caught up in other stuff that takes them out of circulation. There's always some boogeyman waiting to get a black celebrity, especially if they're making waves. And there's a whole bunch of conspiracies surrounding, as an example, Bill Cosby. They said, oh, he was going to try and buy NBC. What's the worst that Bill Cosby would have done? Like, why would that be a reason to frame him? Not that I'm indulging in that conspiracy theory, but a bunch of y'all touted that for a very long time. Like, oh, these women are coming out of the woodwork because Bill Cosby tried to buy NBC. And then they wanted to frame him. Nah, Bill Cosby did it. He did more. Some of the women just didn't come forward. And I think the whole thing with Bill Cosby, as an example of how, let me be more specific. Rich white men don't get killed by the police or find themselves under the thumb of the system. Not very often. There was a guy named Bernie Madoff. He stole a bunch of money from a lot of people. He's dead, though. He died in prison. Well, then I guess there's Jeffrey Epstein. He was a rich dude, too. He did bad things. Apparently. Allegedly, right? But it's rare. The point I'm trying to make is that if we know that poor people and working class people have a disproportionate amount of contact with the police because there's an assumption that they are going to be much more violent and they are much more of a threat to the police, because clearly not having money means the police should be afraid of you. Even though you're a taxpayer that pays the police officer's salary, if you don't have money yourself, mostly because they keep raising our damn taxes, that's why people don't have any money, you're more of a threat to the police, so the police will shoot and kill you. I just want us to be consistent. Otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere. And we oftentimes wonder why we can't make progress. And here's the thing. I'm not holding our community to a higher level of responsibility, but I do want us to be consistent. This is why nobody takes black folks seriously. And that we can admit, whether you want to admit that or not. When we get really mad at something, the world just kind of shrugs its shoulders. But if we're a long way off from this, because we still got to figure out what our relationship is going to be with migrants, because right now we acting like white conservative folks. We hate the migrants because they do. Ain't no migrant, no threat to none of y'all. Not once at all, anywhere, is a black person going to lose something because Maria comes up here with her 6 kids from Guatemala. What's Maria going to do? Make you delicious tamales and give you a hug? Maria don't want nothing from you. In fact, Maria would be happy to have her kids in MPS. Because they learn English, wouldn't they? She's got 7 kids, Zach. Get it right. Maria has got 7 children. I wouldn't name them, but each of the 7 children each have 7 names. Now you're just being racist. And I saw that you sent me something racist. The TikTok. Eclipse. It was racist. How do you know your seatbelt is fastened? Because when you connect it, it eclipses. That's racism.
Spanish word of the day.
That's not nice. You're going to offend the people. Well, no, you're not going to offend them because they don't really speak any English.
I only sent it to you because you were talking about eclipses and stuff.
I wasn't talking about eclipses in a racist way.
But sometimes you do the Mexican accent.
And why did you make me look at a TikTok? You know I'm not on TikTok no more. Don't be sending me TikToks. I don't like TikTok. TikTok is the algorithm is all messed up. They're watching you. They got spyware on your phone. Don't be doing that. No more TikToks.
Oh, is that why I get those ads?
Probably. So I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, the story about Sade Robinson being missing, and then the leg, the body parts that are being found around the city, like this story is getting more unusual. I'm going to take a break, come back, and we'll talk about that during hour 2. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
April is Financial Literacy Month, and The Truth has you covered when learning about how you can best manage your finances. Tune in all month long as a representative from Educators Credit Union will be joining us to discuss financial strategies and tools they offer members to help enhance your financial management skills. Dig deep and spring clean your finances by joining us for Financial Literacy Month. Financial Literacy Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union. Achieving more together.
Truth Nation, tune in Wednesday night at 6 p.m. for the Thanalysis podcast and the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Thanasis will be joined by Duke basketball legend Jay Williams and Bucks guard Malik Beasley. They will have a real conversation about life as well as deep dives of the NBA world. Do not miss the Thanalysis podcast on The Truth Wednesday night at 6 p.m. on 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
And look at how black, powerful people are covered in the media and portrayed. We're not talking about their innocence or guilt. We're talking about how it is handled. It is an attempt to continue to perpetuate the stereotype that black, powerful, wealthy people can only be black, powerful, wealthy people based on their criminal activities. And that is not consistent with other races or genders.
You're so right when you look at a lot of the people that have risen to prominence. With Bishop T.D. Jakes, man of the cloth, after you reach a certain point and it's, he's this or he's doing that, and tied him to Diddy. And the thing is, that is the common theme. And this goes back to the 60s. It goes back to Dr. King and Malcolm X and being on the FBI most wanted list.
Tune in to all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows all day, every day by downloading the Truth app.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers. They were with me every step of the way, helping with my English and math, making sure I push through all the challenges.
Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I do want to read some of your comments on the YouTube chat stream. Sam King says, to be honest, I'm like, that's what they get when it comes to whites getting treated like us. Oh, that's not nice. We shouldn't want anybody to be mistreated. But now I'm just going to be honest with y'all because I have to be. That's why nobody cares for us and nobody comes for us, because when we see another group going through it, and we can relate like no other group can, no other race, no other ethnicity can, when we see somebody going through it, when they're being abused by the system, when other marginalized people are being oppressed, we'll justify it by saying, well, what were they doing? That's what they get. There's a system that is at play in this nation, and I hope you guys are able to recognize it now. And it doesn't care about your race. The racial concept is to keep us from working together. And we fall for it. Hell, I fall for it sometimes. But when there's something that is relatable, something that happens to black folks and we get very outraged by it, police brutality is a great example, and we see it happening to somebody else, we sound like white folks. And that's frightening to me, because they are, the worst acting of them is oftentimes an example for us. Like black folks that vote for Trump. That's separate. Women that vote for Trump and that vote for Republicans. I have an analogy. Now I'm going to talk to Al in a second, but I want to give you this analogy. I thought of it this morning. Got to put your thinking cap on because it's very cerebral. When I read about this abortion ban that they're doing in Arizona, like, this is the worst one ever. And I don't know why people are talking about abortion like it's just a political issue. This is a fundamental right of a woman's ability to have health care. It's a health care issue. Health care should not be legislated like it is. Okay, so Donald Trump takes credit for overturning Roe versus Wade, right? He's happy about that. But the law that they have in Arizona basically completely and totally bans abortion unless the mother's life is in danger. And there's even some ways where, like, the mother can still die and they still won't perform the abortion. Going back to 1864, before Arizona was even a state. Black folks, I need you to just let your alarm bells go off a little bit, because there is a way in which the Constitution can be interpreted to where parts of this nation go back to 1864. Life wasn't good for us in 1864. And if you can do that to women, women are 51% of the population. They are the majority. And if a minority of people, a minority political party that represents the minority of people in this country, can take away a fundamental right for women that are 51% of the country and take women back in a particular state to 1864, it will be easier to do something like that to us. So if it can happen to women, it can happen to us. But here's my analogy. You ready for it? Right now, a woman that votes for Republicans, considering what Republicans did, are doing, and will do when it comes to a national abortion ban, because that's coming. So a woman who votes for a Republican is like a woman buying lingerie for her husband's mistress.
Bruh. Damn.
You are encouraging your own demise as a willing participant. Did that make sense to you? A woman right now in America that votes for a Republican, considering what they've done, what they're doing, and what they will do as it pertains to abortion, is like aiding and abetting your husband in cheating. And you're just supporting it. Like, oh, honey, what should we get your mistress for lunch? Let's talk to Al. Hello, Al. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm going to jump right down to it. Now, with the migrants, black people don't like migrants because they have a certain value for one another that a lot of our black people lack. Also, migrants ain't taking no A-whooping from nobody. They're about that life. Now, moving forward.
They're actually getting their asses kicked pretty bad, but all right.
Well, that's true, too, but they will fight and kill just like they did, and they're already talking about doing more. They're not doing that. When one fight, they all fight. That's why everybody in New York was all upset. Everybody got scared. Okay, now moving forward, qualified immunity ain't never did anything. That's not going to stop police officers. And if you look at history, the first black police officers was not allowed to have weapons, nor they could kill nor slaughter white people. They only can give tickets. Now, the thing is, reason why we can't get nothing done and protests never work, black people never ask what's in their heart. Black people need to ask one law, one rule, one principle, which is equality for everybody. That would be called the do unto others law, which means whatever you do to me, I should have the same right to do to you. One law, one rule, one standard. That we ain't gonna talk about the NAACP because that's nothing but Negroes always asking Caucasians permission. One law, one rule, one standard means if you kill mine and you put 49 bullets and they have no weapon, I should have the same right to do that to you. One law, one rule, one standard, where everybody is created equal.
Al, does that apply to everybody or just when the police do something to us?
I said that's everybody. Okay. One rule, one standard. That goes for everybody. We are equal. So meaning, if a police officer say, woo, and I put 100 bullets in them, you should have the same right because we all know they're about protecting police officers, even where they're wrong. When you look at some of these other states, like in Indiana, when that sheriff said, if a police officer come in your house, if he comes in your house and he comes illegally, kill him. Those police officers got upset. Hey, why would he say that? He said, you just can't go in the house and kill somebody. If a police officer come in your house, kill him. One rule, one law, one standard. And the reason why I say this is because the foundation has already been laid by police officers. And it's only going to be a matter of time when the pipe busts from pressure. Because what's going to happen is people are going to start killing them. That's just calling it like we see it. And I know people say there's good police officers. We understand that. When we look at history, it was a lot of black people who was good who had to die too. But when you're looking at the way we're going and nobody want to say, hey, this is not the way to go, it's going to happen eventually. So what black people should do, rather them asking for you to look at me as I'm human when you're human from birth, ask for one law, one rule, one standard, one principle for everybody.
So, Al, are you saying because this white man was shot by the police in Waukesha that white people should now go and kill the police, or his family should go kill the police to avenge his death? One rule, one law, one standard.
Well, let me tell you like this. I'm going to tell you like this because I know white people just as well as you do. And a lot of them own AK-47. And a lot of them will come out and tell you, you kill their child, they will spray your whole family. You go ask some of them Southerners in St. Louis. Ask some of them die-hard white Republicans. They don't care. They will avenge for their family, okay? They will say that. All you got to do is ask. That's it. But I do understand when it comes to us as black people, we're told to cower down. We're told not to ask what's in their heart. Ask what's in your heart. One law, one rule, one standard, which means you come in my house and you kill somebody and you get caught off, I can have a right to blow your head off when you come across that door. One law, one rule, one standard. We supposed to be all created equal. I don't care if they white, Asian, Hmong, Chinese, they could be the same color as a woman in size. One law, one rule, one standard. If you kill mine, I have a right to kill you. And they will take care of all the equality because we supposed to be the United States, land of the free, home of the brave, where we all are created equal. Say what?
Oh, I didn't say nothing. I'm just listening to you. One law, one rule, one standard.
One law, one rule, one standard. We're the United States of America, land of the free, home of the brave, where we are all created equal. And we know we're not. So ask what's in your heart. If you have a right to kill somebody and they have nothing on them, they should have the same right to kill you. One law, one rule, one standard, one principle for everybody. Just like in the Bible, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Ask some of these diehard Republicans, and they're not going to cower down. They're not going to cower down. They're not going to worry about what nobody thinks. Ask one of them Southerners who got all them Trump signs and all them ammo that if a police officer killed their child, ask them what they'll do. And a lot of those Trump supporters don't care about dying, okay? Oh, I forgot to tell you one thing. There was a big fight 2 months ago downtown.
Okay.
At a gas station.
At a gas station.
Nothing but Harley bikers. Nothing but Harley bikers. Those police said they was not going to jump in because they said if they did, we will be overpowered and outgunned. And they look just like them. And that's where it gets rich. One law, one rule, one standard, and one. Have a good day.
Thank you.
One law, one rule, one standard.
So don't shoot the police, everyone. It's a little more nuanced than one law, one rule, one standard. That's going to be stuck in my head now. Why did he say it so many times? He said it like 43 times. Now I'm going to be walking around. One law, one rule, one standard. Unbelievable. An eye for an eye leaves us all blind. A tooth for a tooth leaves us all bald-headed in the mouth. Don't do a tooth for a tooth because then you won't have any teeth. And how are you going to chew your pork chops? That's not a good way to live. So we already have the castle doctrine or something similar to it if somebody comes in your house. But you can't. I'd rather you not shoot anybody. Can we have a ceasefire? I know they want one over in Gaza. Can we try one in Milwaukee? Somebody got shot. A lady shot a man. I think somewhere on the northwest side yesterday. They said it was domestic violence related. I don't know the details of it. I think it was off of Adler or off of Hope, 89th and Hope, 89th and Adler, somewhere over there. I wish we would not. Can we not shoot anybody? Can we try it, see if it works out? And then if it doesn't work, well, then go with what you know, I suppose. All right. I'll see what kind of show we're going to have today. You were listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I got to talk about the body part story. That's a very rude way to refer to it. There's an unsolved crime happening where the person of interest who still technically has not been arrested, I think is being arraigned today. And we know his name, which is weird. They're treating this white fella like he's black. Because that's the kind of stuff they do to us. Hold us, don't arrest us, release our mugshot picture and our name, even though we haven't even been technically charged with the crime. White people are becoming a minority. You got a white guy that got shot by the police in Waukesha. Whites, let me inform you of something. It's going to suck being a minority. You are not going to like it. Like the college admission stuff you might like. Well, actually, no, because they're turning away or they're ending affirmative action. They've already ended it, so they can't even look at race in college admissions anymore. So you white people, when you become the minority, you can be like, oh, man, we see what you blacks were going through. Oh, you're going to hate it. It's going to suck real bad. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app and 1017thetruth.com.
One law, one rule, one standard.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Community Spotlight this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. I will be joined by Julie Woods Robinson, director of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which is a musical play that is currently running at First Stage Children's Theater in downtown Milwaukee. Julie will discuss why you should take the whole family to see this classic book turned into a children's musical. Again, that is the Community Spotlight this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a job? Direct Connect MKE is a social media style platform that empowers you to grow your social network, find career opportunities, and connect with career specialists for success. Visit joindcmke.com today to learn how you can create a profile, upload your resume, and find access to information about jobs, job training, hiring events, and more. DCMKE is locally focused and equips you to grow your social capital and find opportunities that match your career interests. Here's how it works. Join DCMKE and their partner organizations and follow the employees that you find interesting. Then, meet the career advocates in DCMKE's community to start forming meaningful career relationships. And lastly, scroll through your feed to find and apply to new career opportunities and get matched to openings by career advocates. Yeah, it's that easy. Access to great opportunities at the tips of your fingers. Visit joindcmke.com today and connect your dream to reality. That's joindcmke.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Garage doors giving you a headache? The best way I know to deal with it is to call my friends at Geis. Family owned since 1955, Geis is the trusted authority on garage doors and openers in southeastern Wisconsin. Trust me, I use them too. Geis has doors and openers for every budget and can even build custom designs to meet your exact preferences. For fast, reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com or call 262-784-4250.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Bring it back, bust it wide open. I tell her bring it back.
Bust it out, baby. Get you some. Bust it out, baby. Get you some. Bust it out, baby. Bust it out, baby. Bust it out. Get you some. Bust it out, baby.
Let's talk to Bob. Good morning, Bob. What's on your mind today?
Good morning, Sherman.
Sherwin. I'll cut you. I promise I'll cut you.
All right. Sherwin. When an officer stops me, a man with a gun on the side of his, on his hip, I tend to be diplomatic. However, this one time, I told you this a long time ago, but I didn't tell you the other part, which is very interesting. Two officers stopped me. I was 7 or 8 miles over the limit, and they were very arrogant and laughing. And that's one time out of my whole life that I went back to the officers while they were writing a ticket, and I said, "You can't make me hate white people."
Wait, what?
And they said, "You better get."
You got out of your car and approached the squad car?
One time in my life, I've done that. I mean, I said, because they were very arrogant and I don't know what got into me, but I went back there and I said, "You can't make me hate white people." And they said, "You better get back in your car." And I just went back in my car, and waited for the ticket. And now, 2 months later, I got stopped again in Illinois. And the officer was very arrogant, and and I decided, let me get back to where I have been, diplomatic, with a man that got a gun on the side of his hip. And the officer, he was white. He said, you know, you ought to get this taken off your record. And I said, what do you mean? He said, this is down here, you got a temper. And you don't have no temper to me. So, and then he didn't give me a ticket and he let me go. So I just wanted to warn you. They actually put that on the other police car's record about an individual. And so you need to be aware, you know, that they do that, you know.
So they had notes on you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, one note, and that's one time I did that. But that wasn't a temper. I just said, you can't make me hate white people.
What even possessed you to say something like that? Like getting out of your car and approaching a squad car? Bob, you have no idea how lucky you are. They should have blown you away for doing that. You don't do that. You don't approach a squad car, get out your vehicle, and walk up to the squad when you just getting a speeding ticket. Man, what's wrong with you?
They were very arrogant and very laughing about it.
Then let them be arrogant. Like, you ain't even supposed to have that kind of interaction with the police. If the police pull you over and ask you why they pulled you over, you ain't even supposed to answer that question. Let them give you the ticket and then go to court. You ain't supposed to interact with no damn police. Say as little as possible. Unbelievable.
I know. I mean, I've always done that, and I've always been diplomatic. And that's just one time I did that, and I'm kind of glad I did it in a way and got away with it, because the fact that I didn't know they put your name on their record, and another policeman stopped me, and he was very arrogant. He says, hey, you don't have no temper. Don't let me,
You're probably a known criminal in Northern Illinois, Bob. They just know you. You had a lot of interactions. Remember that time when you got caught going to the bathroom on the side of a gas station building? You need to stop interacting with the police. Maybe you need to stop breaking the law. You thug.
No, I don't. Talk to you later, Sherman.
Yeah, exactly.
You
get off
you
my
up
phone.
to date.
Get off. Don't.
You up?
This might be the last time we talk to you, good buddy, because you always messing with the police. You might not be around much longer, buddy. Get out of here. What's wrong with Bob? All right, let me read some of these comments. Where do I begin? Sam King says, to be honest, I'm like, that's what they get when it comes to whites getting treated like us. Digi says, good point. Monique says, I didn't like what the cop said at the press conference, that if he would have complied, it wouldn't happen. That's what they always say. I suppose at the point of contact, it is entirely up to you whether you want to comply with a police officer or not. That is entirely up to you. That is your choice. Just know this part. If you don't comply, even though you maybe didn't do anything wrong, at that point of contact, it doesn't even really matter, because you're not going to be able to plead your case in front of a police officer that believes you've done something wrong. And a cop can believe that you've done something wrong, but what's more important is if the court believes you've done something wrong. The cop can believe you've done something wrong all day long, 6 waves from Sunday. But once you get the ticket, the citation, or even if you get arrested, it is now in the jurisdiction of the courts. Some of y'all just need to allow yourself to get to the process of the courtroom. But we don't do that. We try to argue with a cop. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Trust me. They already have their mind made up. If you were speeding, get the ticket. Chances are you show up to traffic court, they may reduce the points, reduce the fine. It's not worth the argument, because a lot of these cops, at least the ones that, there's 2 in particular, 3. 2 specifically. I went to high school with these dudes, and they became police officers. One is currently with MPD. The other was actually a cop in Brown Deer. And here's what I know about them. They aren't like, oh, I want to like help, like be a good public servant, and I want to protect people. They weren't liked. They didn't have girlfriends, right? They didn't go to prom. They were unpopular. They were nobodies. And I'm not saying that's the prototype of a police officer, because I know a lot of black cops that actually want to be good cops, that want to help protect the citizens in the community in which they lived and grew up. Because you don't really see black cops carpetbagging unless they have to jurisdiction shop, like Joseph Mensah. He shot a bunch of people in Milwaukee, and then he had to get hired by the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department. I call that jurisdiction shopping. But you have white police officers that have a chip on their shoulder, or they're really insecure, or they've always felt really powerless. Because when you're a police officer, and especially when you have qualified immunity, you can pretty much do whatever you want, or they think that they can do whatever they want. By no means am I trying to paint all police officers with a broad brush. But the ones that I know, the kids that I grew up with that became cops, were punks. And I actually got pulled over by me and my guy Jason. Got pulled over by a dude that we went to high school with. And we couldn't even take him seriously. He was like, "You?" Because we didn't know he was a cop. He's like, "I'm a police officer now." However, because we weren't that many years out of high school. Back in the 90s, how long did you have to go to school, whatever, to be a cop? Would they just take you at 18? Because I don't even know if I was 21. Maybe I was 21. He might have been 22, so I guess that makes sense. He's like, "Yeah, I'm a police officer now." What an idiot. So don't argue with somebody who only pursued that career so they can feel like there's somebody, because they get that badge and they just feel all tough, don't they? So somebody had said something about I think it was CJ that said somewhere in the comments or the text messages, if they got rid of qualified immunity, nobody would want to be cops anymore. Well, that actually is happening. From WISN, nearly half of a police force resigns in one day. Officers quit after Wisconsin town is disbanded. Nearly half of police officers resign in one day. Nearly half of Wisconsin town's police force resigned in one day. Three reasons for the nationwide police shortage. The U.S. is experiencing a police hiring crisis. Nobody wants to be a cop anymore. Apparently, everybody just wants to be a podcaster. That's all everybody wants to do. If I see another, why does everybody think that they can be a podcaster? Should I say it? I don't want to say it. Somebody got to be honest with y'all. I got to be honest. Some of y'all suck. You're not good at it. You're not engaging. You're not insightful. You're not deep thinkers. You're not critical thinkers. You're not inspiring anybody. Some are okay. Some you should go back to school. You know what I mean? Like you should take up a trade. Some of y'all that are podcasting need to be plumbers. Let's talk to Miss Sandra. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Oh, well, you were speaking of the guy that got shot by the police over in Chicago.
In Waukesha.
And so oh, you're talking about Waukesha. I was thinking of the one in Chicago. Okay, about the
who got shot by the police in Chicago? The Chicago police shot somebody?
Yeah, 96 times. It's been on TV, pretty much.
Yikes.
96 times, black guy, 26 years old.
Well, Chicago is different.
And they stopped his car. Yeah, they stopped his car. His mother said he had just bought the car and he was just driving it for a ride. And they stopped him because they said he didn't have a seatbelt on. And in the midst of that, they claimed he had a gun and fired at them first. And they shot up the car. They shot the car so many times, and then he fell out of the car, and they shot him some more. All that's on video. You can see it.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
Well, I'm checking out everything because it makes me go look up stuff because I have to see. I look at the percentages as to white versus black. Well, this is 650% black people shot and killed by the police in Chicago. That's a big percentage to me.
Well, how many white people were killed? We got to do a comparison. And how many Asians?
71%. Yeah, it's always that. It's just a thing where the white supremacy is going to rule the world.
71% of
they're afraid.
The police, 71% of the people shot by the police in Chicago are white?
Well, no, that was 71% of them that's in America. So I did look it up, but I didn't write that down because I know it's going to be a lot less. So I didn't write it down, but I'm going to go back to that. But it makes you start looking up stuff, and you start looking up and you start reading it, and then you see why and how we've been to this point for years, but now it's like, to me, it seems like a big rollback after we tried to accomplish a lot. But anyway, I was just looking at it. It's horrible. Then it takes me back to that Lloyd Yola guy that got shot by the police near New York or somewhere. And his name was Patrick, his first name. And his father brought him here from a foreign country. And, I watched the police shoot that man in the back of the head. He squatted down on his knees, parted his fingers, and shot right at his brainstem. He put that gun at the man's brainstem. And the man was on the ground. He had the man on the ground. I said, dang, well, why did you? But anyways, from what I understand, they taught to kill. They're not taught to maim. Our police has got brand new guns, and so they were fighting about getting brand new guns because the guns were going off by themselves. And I think it's just something they want, and it's probably an even more powerful gun. But anyways, they got this code, too. And like I was standing in my doorway. I live on a very busy street. I stand in my doorway. So 3 cops were there standing around. They had stopped somebody. Whoever they stopped was gone. So they started laughing at the code word they used. Oh, man, yeah, he got a gun. He got a gun. And there was one black police there. He never said nothing. Nobody was out there but them 3. So these are code words. They got code words. He's got a gun. He's talking back. He's resisting. So they got code words as to what they're doing. And it's a lot of them filled with KKK, military men, and they want to support that white supremacy race. So, but I got one more question to ask you. Now, what's going to happen with the state versus the Fed? Like Trump is trying to push this abortion down to the state. What's going to happen with that? I mean, as far as even policing, how is that going to affect us too?
It's a whole bunch of different issues you just wrapped up in one question. If Donald Trump gets elected president and there's a Republican majority in the House of Representatives in the U.S. Senate, they will pass a national abortion ban. Not sure how that relates to the police, though.
No, that's just something I added to it because I keep looking at all of these Fed versus the state. And so the state will have a lot more whatever power. So you never know what's going to go. I know what's going to go down in my head, but that's what I had to say.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Sandra.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Okay, then. Have a nice day there. Police also shot a 27-year-old woman. Am I reading this right? Body camera footage released in police shooting of a woman who called 911 for alleged domestic incident. So this is another one. The cops just shot a Latina woman in California. Did y'all see this? They had the aerial footage from the helicopter, and they're like giving her commands, and she's following the commands. And they said that she was wearing body armor, but she wasn't. It was a girl. They shot her. And so as the police, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. So the police are giving her commands in which she's complying. They're like, walk back to us, walk back to us. And they start shooting this woman, right? And the cop is still like, keep walking back, just keep on going. And they're shooting, they're blowing this woman away. Wait, here, let me read these real quick. I got to take a break. Zach, let me ask you a quick question. I got the years 2017 through I have the years through 2024, the first 4 months of 2024. In 2017, how many people were shot by the police? If you had to guess, Zach, in the year 2017, how many people were shot by the cops?
In the United States?
In the United States.
525.
It's actually 981 in 2017.
Damn.
Of the 981 people of all races that were shot by the police, how many of them were black? Of 981 that were shot by the police in that year, 2017, how many were black?
Yeah, at least 80%.
It actually is more like 20%. Oh. Of the 981 people that were killed by the police. Is this killed or shot? Shot to death. Yeah. So they shot more than this. But of the 981 that were shot and killed by the police, 222 were black, 458 were white. In 2018, 983 people were killed by the police. 459 were white, 228 were black. In 2019, just shy of 1,000. 999 people were killed by the police. 424 were white. 251 were black. They get killed by the police at twice the rate. Now, that's still disproportionately off because there's a lot less black people. We're only 13-14% of the population, so we should only be 13% of the police homicides. We're more like 20-25%. But white people get shot by the police a lot, and maybe they're just used to it. That's why white communities don't care that the white fella in Waukesha who was attempting to steal a car from CarMax got shot, and they didn't say nothing about it. I'm going to take a break, come back. I got to talk about the leg. I mean, no, not just the leg, but the case. But y'all know it as the leg case. We might have a serial killer or a Jeffrey Dahmer in the city, which is not good. We don't want that because that makes Milwaukee look bad. Just in time for the Republican convention. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey Milwaukee, my name is Martina, and I'm with the Independent Living Supports Pilot Program team. We help adults 55 plus and those 18 plus living with disabilities, providing up to $7,200 for home services, medical equipment, home modifications, and more. There's less than 30 days left to sign up for this program. See if you qualify today. Call 414-289-6874. Again, that's 414-289-6874. This program is made possible by Milwaukee County and Wisconsin Department of Health and Human Services.
Happy Financial Literacy Month from Educators Credit Union. If you're dreaming of financial freedom, new ways to pay down debt, or tips to invest in your future, Educators Credit Union can help. They offer budgeting tools, personal finance courses, and debt solutions to turn your financial dreams into reality. Learn more at ECU.com. That is ECU.com. Membership at Educators Credit Union is open to anyone who lives or works in southeastern Wisconsin, and they are federally insured by NCUA.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
We're at a turning point in Milwaukee's political history as we go towards the end of this year and into 2025. The choices we make now will have a lasting impact on our city in the future. The impending financial difficulties necessitate a cooperative strategy that unites every aspect of our society to create long-term fixes. There has never been any question about the tenacity and the spirit of Milwaukeeans, and it is this strength that we need to utilize more than ever. Our future depends on creative problem solving, utilizing cross-border alliances, and being dedicated to making sure that all Milwaukeeans' voices, especially those of the historically marginalized, are acknowledged and heard during the policymaking process. Prioritizing equitable development will ensure that long-standing imbalances are addressed and economic growth will benefit all Milwaukee citizens. You know, it's essential to make investments in Milwaukee's public services, infrastructure, educational systems in order to both prevent the budget crisis and create a more robust and energetic city. Now, as we traverse these obstacles, let us never forget that our community is our most valuable resource. And by working together, we can overcome any challenge and create a future that embodies Milwaukee's greatest qualities, which are resilience, being inclusive, and being a successful city.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right, I got some things here. Got to get back on track. I'm not supposed to use the term peanut gallery because it's racist. That term refers to where black people sit in the theater. It goes back to like the 1800s. I didn't know that. But I call the YouTube chat stream the peanut gallery because, I mean, come on. It is where the black people are sitting. Let's see what we got here. Barbara Smith says, from what is being said on social media by the family, Sade Robinson has passed away. She was murdered. Please be gentle with what you say about this terrible situation. So I read some of the comments left by Sade Robinson's mother on the mother of Sade Robinson's Facebook page, and it's just threat after threat after threat. And it's hard for me to put myself in the place of someone who was grieving losing a child. I couldn't imagine those emotions. But she's threatening everybody, which you can't do. And social media just makes it easy. It also seems like, people can say whatever they want, and they do, but believe that there are no consequences from that. One of the reasons why I'm conscious and cognizant of what I say to people, especially in writing, if I send somebody a text message or if I send somebody an email or if I post something on social media, you can be very upset with somebody for a variety of reasons, and then you say something that reflects how upset you are. And maybe I watch too many crime shows on TV. I'm a sucker for a Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I like it. I fall asleep to that show, which explains why I have terrible dreams, but it's good sometimes. And what they'll do is they'll take real life situations that are in the news, and they'll dramatize it and fictionalize a little bit, and they'll make it an episode of Law and Order. It's very good. It's very well written show. It's been on for 25 years, so that explains, illustrates it is a very, very good show. But okay, imagine this, okay, because this happens. Let's say you're real mad at somebody, and you say, I hate you. I'm going to kill you. You don't mean it. You're not going to kill anybody. As Sherman would say, they wouldn't bust a grape, but they say they're going to kill somebody. You ever think about this for a second? If you send somebody a text message saying you're going to kill them, or you wish them ill, or you want to harm them, and then they go missing, the cops are coming to your house. You didn't do it, though. You just were mad at them on some other stuff. But when the police look at that missing person or that dead person's cell phone records, and they see you sent a message at 1:21 a.m. saying, I hope you die, I'm going to kill you, the police are coming, and they're not going to knock softly. They're not going to be, hi, DoorDash. They're not going to do that. They're going to break your door down, and they're going to arrest you because you now have motive, right? So you got to be very careful of what you say, even if you are incredibly upset, because that would be a nightmare for me. That's why my policy, I don't even say nothing. If I'm just mad, I just get quiet. I just say it in my head, because if you, imagine that. You tell somebody that you hate them and you want them dead or you want to kill them, and then somebody else kills them. You're a suspect in the murder, and you don't want to be a murder suspect. That's not a fun way to spend your weekend. Not at all. Curly Q says, Sherwin, out of all the truth, do you have the highest interaction with a peanut gallery, as you call it? I don't know. Do other people read the YouTube comments? I'm sure they do. Other hosts do.
Not as frequently.
All right. This is a very entertaining bunch. Let's see. Anything notable? They're just talking amongst one another. Curly Q says, one rule, one law, one standard. That's not a good rule. Now, Gigi is calling it 111.
One law, one rule, one standard.
But it refers to violence. What do I got to do to get y'all to not be so violent? Like, violence only begets other violence. And as black people, we're not equipped. Like, if there was a war, a civil war, we'd have to figure out what the hell we're going to do. Like, where are we going? What if they just said, let's get rid of the blacks? They just made a decision. Yep, we're going to round up the black. Where are we going? Where will we go? Nobody's going to come and rescue us. There's going to be no boats coming to take us to Europe or back to Africa. Like, nobody is going to come for us. And I'm worried about that because we're not survivalists. If you took a black family, if they were fleeing war in America and they had to leave the city and go live in the woods and had to live and survive and thrive in the woods because they had to get away from the city because the country is in a civil war, we would be dead in 3 days. We don't know how to hunt a quail or a pheasant. We don't know how to do that stuff. We'd be looking for a metro market. We'd go in the woods. Oh, no, there's a civil war. We got to go hide in the woods. We don't know how to camp. What would black women do about their hair? right? They can't just live in a forest. We're not prepared. White folks have been preparing for this. They're survivalists. They have doomsday kits. They're doomsday prep. I've seen their doomsday preparations. They are ready. We are not.
They've made shows about their preparations.
You can even buy. Now, I'll admit I was watching Fox News one day. Just wanted to see what the other side is talking about. And there's like doomsday kits you can buy. You can actually purchase. Oh, be prepared for the apocalypse. Because they think that some big war is coming. And if so, we're not prepared. Do we have enough insulin to sustain the black community for an extended period of time? Because they're going to cut off our insulin, all of our medications. They're going to cut off our internet, all of our electricity. They're going to cut off our water. In fact, what they are doing to Palestinians over in Gaza is exactly what they would do to us. We would not be able to survive. We don't control electricity. We don't control our power. We wouldn't be able to get gas for our cars. Like, that's war. They cut off your supplies, and we don't produce anything. So we're incredibly vulnerable. We're more vulnerable in this country than I think we actually believe. We think that we're going to get protection. The police aren't going to protect us. The police are likely going to go and work for the other side. So this is something that we need to think about. I don't know how I got from this to just talking about not sending threats to people. Zuri says, y'all do know we pay their salaries. We are tax-paying citizens, and they are, I forgot the words, but they work for citizens. Yeah, you know what else I found out? Speaking of taxes, but like that's not, I think we use that the wrong way. If you go up to a cop and say, hey, I pay your salary. That cop don't care. And cops that live in the city also pay their own salaries too. You only pay a cop's salary if you're a property taxpayer. If you're a renter, your landlord is more, you're paying the rent and the landlord is paying the property taxes, but the landlord is writing the check for the property taxes. So technically your landlord is paying the police a little bit more than you are. Gigi says, I heard about that, and they're expecting a riot in Chicago. Let me go to the Chicago story. I still got to get to the story about the leg. We haven't identified the leg, so I cannot make the analogy or the comparison that Sade Robinson, those are her body parts because we don't know. I think we're going to have DNA information today, though. I read that somewhere or heard it somewhere, maybe on local news when I was going through the local news websites, whatever, that we might know whose leg that belongs to. All right, here we go. No, that's not it. No, that's not, here it is. All right. Newly released body camera footage reveals the mayhem that unfolded in a residential neighborhood when Chicago police fired as many as 96 bullets toward a man during a traffic stop, killing the 26-year-old and raising concerns about whether officers used excessive force. Raising concerns? There had to have been some kind of psychosis that took over if you're firing 96 shots. Let me take a break, come back, and talk about, I have a bunch of stuff I got to get to. We'll start unraveling it on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, join the Truth Team on Saturday, April 13th for our third annual Tory Low Community Cleanup. We want you to go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up and be a volunteer to help keep Milwaukee clean. Everyone who joins will get a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today at truthcommunitycleanup.com. That is truthcommunitycleanup.com to clean and beautify our city together. The Truth Community Cleanup is sponsored by Cousin Subs and Safe and Sound.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so So we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Truth Nation, it's a big week for First Stage. The classic book series is coming to a live stage near you. Diary of a Wimpy Kid musical is coming to life at the First Stage Children's Theater in downtown Milwaukee. Bring the family to see this classic book turned into a musical by visiting firststage.com. The show runs at Marcus Performing Arts Center from April 6th to May 5th. Get your tickets today to see the Diary of a Wimpy Kid musical by visiting firststage.com for tickets.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
All you have is one. One chance after an accident. One decision on who to call. One shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
While a preliminary investigation suggests the driver opened fire on officers first, his family and attorneys question why plain-clothed officers swarmed Dexter Reed's car with guns drawn and fired dozens of shots at him. The fatal encounter happened in the city's Garfield Park neighborhood on March 21st. Several graphic body camera videos were released Tuesday by Chicago's Civilian Office of Police Accountability. Should I watch it? Maybe let me see. Dexter Reed is his name. Cassandra called in a little while ago. She said she seen it. Let me see. Let me check it out. I know I shouldn't be watching this, but I want to see if they. Let me play investigator here. If there's any audio, guys, I'll play the audio. Dexter Reed shooting. Let's see what comes up. Oh, boy. There we go. Oh, there it is. Video shows Chicago police shoot at Dexter Reed 96 times. Nope, here's the. No, that's not it. I want the raw footage. This is all news accounts of it. There's no way this is the footage. This can't be it. Let me see. Hang on. Video.
Whoa! Also breaking disturbing video released showing Chicago police officers firing 96 shots during a shootout after a traffic stop.
Whoa! Hold on. Let me rewind.
Open the door now! Open the door now!
And they're at close range.
Also breaking
oh, that's a bad one. No, that's a bad one. I can't watch that one again.
96 shots during a shootout after a traffic stop. A police officer was
they didn't even really give him a chance to react.
I feel like I've been shot. My insides is burning up. Why they did that to my son, they didn't have to do him like that. I love him.
The mother of the man shot, visibly shaken, calling for firings and criminal charges. And Cook County State's attorney are promising a full investigation.
Let me assure you that our pursuit of justice will be relentless.
We have team coverage on what the video shows in reaction from family and city leaders.
We start with CBS 2's Chris.
I kind of want to see it again.
Do not roll the window up.
Oh, here we go. Here's the other footage. All right, hang on.
11th District circled the car driven.
Wait, let's rewind.
21st.
Open the door now.
Officers from a tactical unit in the 11th District.
Window was
circled
down.
the car driven by 26-year-old Dexter Reed.
Hey, don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up. Do not roll the window up. Unlock the doors now.
As commands
not rolling the window up.
followed, officers pointed their firearms. Reed's family later said what the officers never pointed out to him was why they were there in the first place.
Open the door now. Open the
He's
door
not opening
now.
the door. Oh my God.
Over the next 41 seconds, 96 shots fired. In the distance, Reed, laying on the ground, is shot multiple times.
Oh my God.
The Civilian Office of Police Accountability says this was a traffic stop for not wearing a seatbelt. And while the videos don't make it clear, their investigation concludes Mr. Reed fired first.
He started shooting at us.
In the chaotic moments that follow, officers assess what just happened.
No one go to the car. The gun's in the car.
Copa says Reed's weapon was found on the passenger seat and that they will be investigating the propriety of the traffic stop.
Very quickly going from seatbelt to guns drawn, point of greatest danger, guns drawn. What gets it there? Why?
Professor David Harris of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law believes there's a missing piece here.
That is a missing piece. You would expect cars pulled over.
Okay, that, I don't know why I watched that. So from what I saw, he's in a white late model GMC Terrain, a SUV, like a compact SUV. The driver's side window is halfway down. And then they start yelling at him, don't roll the window up. It looks like the windows are tinted. So if the window gets rolled up, then the police officers may not be able to see what is going on in the vehicle. So I can understand them not wanting him to roll the window up. But the window is not going up. And you can actually hear him say, I'm not. They're saying, don't roll the window up, don't roll the window up. And I'm watching it, and the window was not moving. Then something happens, and the angle that I saw is only from one officer's body camera footage, and I saw at least 4 or 5 officers that were partially surrounding the vehicle, but the angle that I just played only has one officer's body camera footage. And what else is fascinating about this is the one officer whose body camera captures the scene that I just saw starts running in the opposite direction. So I don't know if that's evidence that this individual, what's his name? That he was shooting at the police, but I found it kind of interesting that the police officer whose body camera was the focal point of the video, Dexter Reed's, that's his name. He started running in the opposite direction, and then it just kept shooting. So I don't know what's going on. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
Truth Nation, tune in Wednesday night at 6 p.m. for the Thanalysis podcast and the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Thanasis will be joined by Duke basketball legend Jay Williams and Bucks guard Malik Beasley. They will have a real conversation about life as well as deep dives of the NBA world. Do not miss the Thanalysis podcast on The Truth Wednesday night at 6 p.m. on 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Truth Nation, it is the effective communication coach Denise Thomas from Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. Look, y'all, I got to let you know that the best morning show on planet Earth is now streaming live on YouTube every weekday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yes, Truth Telling Hits with Telly and Truth Swiping are coming at you live and in color every weekday on YouTube. So go to YouTube right now to subscribe to 1017 The Truth and watch Telly and I do our thing and get your morning started off right. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
Check out Jammin' with Juice, where it's amazingly juicy.
When Kanye said that slavery was a choice, are you hopping off that ship? Or are you saying to be a slave?
You are so funny, Juice.
Come get your drop of juice.
I wish I could just save everybody in the world who's going through something like that.
And you know you always got a friend in Ben.
Once you do pass down your wisdom to the next person, that's how you ultimately end up freeing the next generation.
From the 414 to everyone across the globe, Jamming with Juice is here for you.
All the 5 biddies to the flow right now.
See, look at that. We're so ignorant.
It's like a bird call.
Hey, y'all are hilarious.
No stone left unturned.
Is there a difference between hood, ratchet, and ghetto?
I don't know if this man is the devil or the Antichrist.
That was juicy. Okay, that was extremely juicy.
It's amazing.
Check out Jammin' with Juice daily on YouTube.
Research shows that high-quality teachers have the greatest impact on student success during the school day. By shaping their students, they are shaping the future. Yet while actors have Oscars, musicians have Grammys, and athletes have gold medals, exemplary educators who prepare every profession are just not recognized enough. The Milken Educator Awards set out to change that by surprising outstanding educators across the nation with $25,000 prizes and providing a platform to celebrate, elevate, and activate the profession.
Erica Stevens!
The awards were created by Lowell Milken of the national nonprofit Milken Family Foundation. The journey to surprising the 3,000th Milken Educator is in full swing. Who will be next?
Honey, they chose me.
Celebrate teachers, value teachers, thank teachers.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Well, his name is Maxwell S. Anderson, and he is being held in connection with a human leg found in a Milwaukee County park, prosecutors said yesterday morning in a court appearance. Anderson had not been charged, but is being held on a judge's finding of probable cause. So this is something that everybody needs to know. Do you know that legally the police can hold you for 72 hours until they find something to charge you with? And then if they don't find anything to charge you with, they can let you go. Legally, they can hold you for 3 days. Now, what's curious, and I'm not connecting this case to any other human being because I simply don't know, and I don't want to make that case. What I don't like is, because there's a lot of people that are probably missing in the city of Milwaukee, somewhere Sade Robinson's name got mixed up with this because she is also critically missing. It could be a totally different person. Or Sade Robinson could be fine. And she's just like, Milwaukee sucks. I just want to get out of here for a little while. Remember the one lady? Wasn't there a lady in Alabama like a year ago, 2 years ago, that faked her disappearance? She made up a whole elaborate story. Just made up some stuff. Every now and again that happens. People just like, I just need to get away. And they just disappear for a little while. She might be fine. But the media locally, always trying to sensationalize a story, is making a connection where we don't know whose body part that is. And other parts were found. The interesting thing is, if there is a connection between these individuals, Maxwell S. Anderson, who has not yet been charged, and like as a journalist or someone who plays a journalist on the radio, I shouldn't even be saying the name of a person that hasn't been charged, because that's the kind of stuff that they do to us and we don't like it. Anderson has not been charged, but is being held on a judge's finding of probable cause. So because they searched his house, like what did they find in his house that it's not enough to arrest him, but enough to hold him? Because I know to convict somebody, you need several things. You need a weapon, you need a witness, and you need a murder, or like you need a body. But if you don't have those things, you're not going to get a conviction. So I'm assuming as time goes on, the public will be, because they've told us this much information so far. If they're going to tell us the individual's name that is being held and has not been charged, then as more information is available, they need to be communicating that with the public. And also, they said they don't think that the public is in any danger, so they probably suspect that it's him associated with the body parts that have been found around the city. But if they're associating that with him, why hasn't he actually formally been arrested and charged with somebody's murder and dismemberment? Jail records show he was taken into custody last Thursday night, 6 hours after a team of county and state investigators descended on his home on the city's south side. But then the other thing is, and obviously the police can't release a lot of information because that can compromise their investigation, but how do you find a human body part that's in itself probably unidentifiable to a human being, but then you're able to trace that body part to a person and an address in Cudahy? That is the part that is just perplexing me. The court commissioner granted a prosecution request to extend a probable cause hold on Anderson for 72 hours. Investigators said, this is why. Blood was discovered on a comforter in the stairwell of Anderson's home near 39th and Oklahoma. So 39th and Oklahoma is Milwaukee. The leg was found in Warnemont Park, which is in Cudahy. And then there was something found in the area of 31st and Lisbon. And then I made a generalization about the neighborhood between 35th and 27th and Lisbon, which could be erroneous, but if Milwaukee is one thing, it is consistent. If there is a crime, if there's a violent crime, if there is foul play that takes place in this city between 35th and 27th and Lisbon, because that area is known to be a hotbed of prostitution. And we know that black prostitutes have been going missing in this city for the last 40 years, and people are barely even looking for them. So I'm just connecting logical dots. They added, since those samples were submitted for testing, additional body parts have been found. Anderson's attorney revealed additional details of the state's case while arguing his client should be released. Oh, it's Tony Cotton is representing him. Damn it. Oh, it's so let me not say that. Okay. Everybody is entitled to a defense. I know that you believe that certain people shouldn't have a defense because we've already deemed them guilty. But everyone, even if you are guilty, you still are constitutionally entitled to a defense. The fact that Tony Cotton took this case, I've interviewed Tony Cotton before. So I have a bunch of friends, more than some of you may think, actually. And if any of my friends, like the people that I trust the most, if any of them get in trouble, they're hiring Tony Cotton. In fact, I know lawyers that if they get in trouble, Tony Cotton is the lawyer that they're going to hire. I can't tell you how many people have been charged with murder in this city and hire Tony Cotton, and they're not charged with murder anymore. So this individual has got probably the best defense attorney. Tony Cotton is a white Johnny Cochran. He's good. He's probably very expensive, though, too. Like, if you want to hire Tony Cotton, I can't imagine what his retainer is, but you also can't put a price on freedom. Let's talk to James. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, good morning. So just through the grapevine, heard this through a police source that this man's basement was set up as a torture chamber. So there's some pretty strong evidence.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. You heard that from a police source?
Yep.
Damn. I shouldn't be engaging in this kind of gossip and hearsay and speculation, but and you think it's reliable information?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. So but we don't know who the victim is, do we?
I'm a little concerned because this cat is like 3 blocks from my house.
Oh!
So, you tend to be a little more on top of things when it's right down the road from you.
I'm assuming you didn't know him. You never had any interactions with him?
Nope.
Okay.
No. It's a very quiet neighborhood, so it's on the other side of a church. So just real quiet. You would not suspect anything like that going on in a house.
Because 39th in Oklahoma, so you guys you're east, well, the suspect's house, if he's even a suspect yet, it's east of Serb Hall. It's like a lot of cops and firefighters that used to live over in that neighborhood.
So it's 43rd Street.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
East of 43rd. Serb Hall and all that is farther west.
Like 50th. Okay, gotcha.
Much farther west.
But it's in the same general vicinity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, James. Well,
yeah, we have cops and whatnot in our neighborhood too. So I think everybody's concerned, but that's I think it's a little more than a rumor right now that's what was going on.
Well, thank you for sharing that information with us. Appreciate the update.
Yeah, by the way, I really enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. All right, bye-bye.
All right, James. You keep it up too. Well, look at that breaking news. Heard from a police source that the man's basement was set up like a torture chamber. What is wrong with human beings?
That's crack smoking crazy is what that is.
You can't make light of this. The man had what is it with Milwaukee folks? Like the next generation of a Dahmer? Okay, so isn't that enough evidence to arrest him? They found blood. Well, they got to test the blood. So you got to hold. That makes sense. If they saw the torture chamber, they found blood on a comforter. You got to test the blood and the DNA to see if it matches any victim profiles, not just any individual who may be missing at the time. But the other thing is, Sade Robinson, not that I want to bring her into this because we don't know where she is. She might be fine for all we know. She might be in Hawaii. She worked at Pizza Shuttle, apparently. Everybody loved her at the Pizza Shuttle. She's a very nice lady, and everybody loved her very much a lot at the Pizza Shuttle. Her car was found, not a good sign, but hopefully I'm hoping for the best for Sade Robinson. But how did these two individuals even connect with one another? This Maxwell Anderson and Sade Robinson. I know that Maxwell Anderson has been a bartender. I'm looking at his picture right now. He looks, and I shouldn't stereotype somebody based on how they look, but you ever look at somebody and they look murdery? They look like, some people, you look at them like, oh yeah, you could commit a crime like that. They have a look. He has like a soulless look. And I know even by saying this stuff right now, I'm probably tainting a potential jury pool, because when they do the process, the voir dire process, I think I might be saying it wrong, where they do jury selection, one of the questions might be, have you heard any media coverage of this case involving Maxwell Anderson? And one of y'all will be like, yep, I listened to Sherwin's show, and I heard about the torture chamber in the man's basement. That's okay. I'm going to take a commercial break. I need to get my life together. That's crazy. Okay. And we're going to talk to anybody else have any information, because y'all over here giving us more information than the police is giving us. What if you walked into somebody's house? Zach, what if you met a girl and she's like, oh, you want to come over? And you'd be like, yeah. You meet a girl at a DJing gig and she's a nice lady. She's hanging out with you at the DJ booth. She's a very nice lady. She smells good. She's very cute. She loves your DJing. She's like, hey, I live in the neighborhood. You want to come over, have a drink, just kick it, have a little kickback? And you'd be like, oh, yeah, yeah. And you go to her house and you see a torture chamber. You wouldn't even leave right away, Zach. You'd be like, well, listen.
I was going to say, oh, yeah, we getting started now.
Okay. End up coming to work with one leg.
Hey, it's okay.
Like, y'all ain't going to believe what happened to me. I'm like, actually, yes, we would. We would believe what happened to you.
I tell you, it'd be a fire story, though.
Zach, there's no story worth losing a leg.
I mean,
seriously, don't. I mean, hear me out.
That's what I'm saying. Hear me out, Sherwin.
All right, let me take a break. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube. How? Every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Social injustices have created a long-standing list of disparities in education access and the quality of education. Injustice is also seen in sexuality education provided to students. Students really need the full spectrum of what it means to have the information so that they can take care of themselves. Reproductive justice leaders advocate for schools to provide comprehensive sexuality education, which helps students to prevent unintended pregnancies and obviously increase their chances of graduating. It's really important for the listeners to remember that even if you don't have students in MPS, even if you're not a parent, those students are part of our community and they deserve our support. The more that they receive, the better off they are, the better off our community is.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
Whether you're an artist playing accountant, a barista trying to be a bean counter, or a student just looking to get started, the UW Credit Union app lets you be free to be you. With free credit scores, free online bill pay, and the ability to send money to friends. Because with fewer fees, you can do more of what you love. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Baseball season is finally here, and we want to celebrate the Milwaukee Brewers with you, Truth Nation. From now through the end of April, we will be giving away tickets to cheer on the Brewers live from the American Family Field. For your chance to win a pair of tickets to a game, you must download the 1017 The Truth app and be on the lookout for our weekly notification. And then it'll tell you to call, and then you can win tickets or whatever. Play ball with the Truth and watch the Brew Crew live by downloading the 1017 The Truth app today. We're excited for the official launch of Jammin' with Juice this Thursday at 6 p.m. Jammin' with Juice is a Truth-exclusive YouTube series hosted by our very own Carrie Noni and Ben Jammin'. So make sure you are tapped in by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you don't miss the debut of Jammin' with Juice Thursday at 6 p.m. Milwaukee Black Talk just keeps getting better. And April is Financial Literacy Month, and The Truth has you covered, learning about how you can best manage your money. All April long, we will speak with representatives from Educators Credit Union to discuss financial strategies and tools that they offer their members to help enhance your financial management skills. Financial Literacy Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union, achieving more together. And the One World Music Festival is coming to the Riverside Theater on Friday, April 26th. This music festival will feature some of the hottest local artists that you love, like Chicken P, 414 Big Frank, JP, Joe Pablo, not Joe Pablo, and many more. I thought Joe Pablo would have been everybody. The One World Music Festival will also honor Milwaukee's legendary rap artists like the great Cuckoo Cal, Baby Drew, Ray Nitty, Homer Blow, and many more. Make sure you get your tickets today to attend the One World Music Festival Friday, April 26th at the Riverside Theater in downtown Milwaukee. Doors open at 6 p.m. To get your tickets, visit PabstTheaterGroup.com. That is PabstTheaterGroup.com, and search One World Music Festival. That is PabstTheaterGroup.com, and search One World Music Festival. I need tickets to that so I can see what his name is. Petey Pablo? Joe Pablo. I'll go see him. No idea who that is. But you know who does know who that is? Kathy. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Kathy.
Yeah, it's good to hear your voice. You're a smart man. On that case with that lady, I'm just looking at what they're saying. And, they pin your phone, so they might have pinned her phone by checking on it because it was in the news. The phone was pinned, which means they can track it whether they have it or not from the phone company itself and see the last call she might have made or where she was at. The other thing is that they said the guy worked a full-time job. I don't know if he worked full-time or not, but he worked at Victor's. They said, now they can look at the cameras at Victor's and see if he took down a phone number with her or a picture or from the cameras at Victor's. And, on the way out the door. Also at the
like he worked at Victor's recently, because every bar, he's worked at a lot of bars in the city, and every bar that he worked at has been in the news, even though he hasn't worked at some of those bars in like 3 or 4 years. But he worked at Victor's?
Last night I looked it up and they said he had a full-time job. Now, I'm not sure if that's his full-time job now or on his side, because when you look it up, I said, where did he work at? And all they showed was he worked at Victor's. Now, the attorney said yesterday he worked a full-time job and he wouldn't be a flight risk, okay? So that's what they said. But they said Victor's. I was trying to find another employer, but then on the other one they said that, now, you remember the bars they have cameras, at least by the register, they have cameras, so they can check that from the camera to see if they had an interaction together with each other, maybe took down a phone number. And then at the pizza shop, they have cameras there too, so they can look back and forth and see if he came into place maybe a couple of times and exchanged phone numbers. But they pin your phone, her cell phone, they can see the last call she made or met up with somebody if that was the case.
But we don't know. We just, obviously they can ping a cell phone, but we still haven't connected those two, and I don't want to do that because we don't have any evidence.
I didn't say anything. No, I'm just talking.
But you're combining the two. He worked at Victor's. She worked at Pizza Shuttle. They could have pinged their phone. We don't know that these two are all connected.
No, we don't. And that's the thing. They said pin the phone. I'm just talking in general, like we all are speculating. If I had more time, I'd go out and try to help look for whatever I'm supposed to be looking for with the people too. I'm hoping that if it is this person, or not this person, because if it's not, we got a problem on our hands and in this community of what's going on with people out here. A lot of people missing. So this is terrible. If it's not him, we don't have to figure out what's going on. And it could be the person that get let go based on the evidence, but they never said was that leg, black leg, white leg, tan leg. They never said what color that leg was, and this was very decapitated. They never really said that either, So I'm just putting little by little. Maybe they met somewhere at a bar, restaurant where she worked at, which would be very helpful if they had cameras, so they can at least kind of pinpoint maybe some kind of interaction or something. That's all I'm saying, And their location is around the corner from St. Luke's Hospital, on 27th Street there in Oklahoma. But it'd be interesting, and I'm just hoping that we don't have a problem on our hands with somebody out here that we don't know nothing about. You have to be very careful.
Well, I know he has not yet been arrested, so we got to keep that in mind as well.
Oh yeah, he's not. He's innocent until proven guilty. But I'm just hoping that there ain't somebody out here besides him, because we got something on our hands at this point. Let people know where you're going. I don't care if it's a first date, whatever. Let people know where you are going. And if you can, get a license plate number, take a picture, send it back to somebody. Don't just be getting in the car, riding around with folks or meeting somebody somewhere because you don't want nobody to know your business.
Even if you do let somebody know. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate your call.
Sure.
All right, Kathy. So even if you do let someone know, you let a friend know where you're going, who you're going to be with, think about this logically for a second, because a lot of women do this. In fact, I've actually objected to this. I went out with a lady a long time ago. I mean, I've gone out with many since, but it was one in particular. I met her on the internet. What do you want me to do? I met her on the internet. Y'all meet people on the internet all the time. I can't meet somebody on the internet? Relax. I met a woman on the internet. We talked on the internet and we met. Okay? It happens all the time. We met in a public place. Because I don't know, she might kill me. Women be killing too now. My safety could be in, thank you. My safety could be in danger. You meet a strange internet lady, because sometimes you meet a strange lady on the internet. It could be a dude. It could be a mister. Like I walk into the bar. She said, oh, okay, meet me at Victor's at 7:00. All right. well, what are you going to be wearing so I know how to find you? I'm going to be wearing my zip up, some jeans, probably a hat. Okay. See you at 7. Okay, fine. I'm excited. You know how you get that little excitement? Like, ooh, I'm finna meet somebody. And I get to Victor's or wherever I choose to meet this person in a well-lit public area. And I'm waiting. I'm looking around. It's 7:05, 7:07, 7:10. And all of a sudden, I'm facing the bar, maybe watching one of the many televisions they have behind the bar at Victor's. And all of a sudden, I feel a tap on my shoulder. It's a heavy tap. It's very heavy. Hey, are you Sherwin? That can happen. Hi. But wait a minute, I talked to you on the phone. No, that was my sister. I didn't think you would meet me. This didn't happen to me, but it could happen. I'd freak out. So even if I would have told someone where I'm going, like I give the phone number, because that happens. A woman gave my phone number to her friend, which was stupid, because guess what? I ended up talking to her friend. Oh, yeah. It was wild. But it doesn't do any good. If I'm meeting somebody strange, somebody that I don't know, and if I give my phone number, let's say that person's phone number to Zach, like, hey, Zach, I'm going to Victor's at 7 o'clock to meet up with this woman I've been talking to on the internet or whatever. And let's say I leave with that woman. Let's say it's a legitimate woman and I leave with her. Zach knowing who the woman, I'm still dead. Zach just knows who killed me. That's it, right? So it doesn't save me. But before I got diverted by my own weird imagination, I remember meeting a woman that I talked to online. We agreed to meet out. And she told me, she was laughing about it. She's like, oh, because I don't really know you. And, you know, women have to look out for their safety. And I was like, oh, I totally understand that. She was like, I gave your name and phone number to one of my friends just in case. I gave her your information. And while I understood her need to feel safe, I was like, what I told her is like, I would have rather we taken more time to get to know each other, because now you gave my information to a woman that I don't know. And even though that woman was looking out for her safety, she compromised my privacy by giving my name and my information to someone that I don't know. So she and I just went on a couple of dates. There really was nothing there. It was what it was. But like a week later, I get a text message from the girl that the woman I originally went on a date with gave her number to, because she saw me on Facebook.
Damn.
And then she and I started talking. So all's well that ends well, I suppose. But I don't know. There's got to be a better compromise. Ladies, if you're unsure about meeting a guy, or I guess you can always take a friend, right? Ladies, do you take a friend with you if you go meet somebody? But if you're meeting somebody in public, right, then that should be all the safety and the security that you need, because the chances that someone is going to kill you in public is probably very, very low. But I just didn't like this woman who I didn't really know. I just talked to her online. And she gave my information to her friend. And what good is that even going to do? Like, that friend that had my information, all that did is compromise my safety. It doesn't save the woman that I was actually meeting. So I don't know. I'm sure there was a point to that story. Let me read some text messages, which I haven't read all day. Chauncey said, damn, Sherwin, you say you met her on the internet. To each his own, but what you think was going to happen when you messing around on Backpage. Bruh. They don't have Backpage no more. And you don't got her.
How would you know that?
Because it was all over the news years ago, because it was all, everybody knew what Backpage was in the day. Really? D. Wood said, and he's also known to be a drug dealer. Talking about Maxwell Anderson, the man who allegedly had a torture chamber in his basement, per a caller.
Accusations.
D. Woods also says it's a lot of weird people that hang out around the Pizza Shuttle. I haven't had Pizza Shuttle or even been there in years. I don't mess with that whole part of the east side. Anything near Brady Street to me is just, I don't like Brady Street. Brady Street is, because I remember Brady Street when it was heroin addicts. So when I was in high school, like back in the 90s, Brady Street was disgusting. It was a filthy, vile neighborhood that you stayed away from. but look at what years of investment can do to a neighborhood. Y'all would not even believe what Brady Street looked like in the mid and early 1990s. It was gross. There was no bars, no restaurants over there. Brady Street was like the plague. We avoided it. Nobody went to Brady Street. Now it's a destination. Wayne says, Sherwin, the reason why he has not been formally charged is because the evidence they found is likely not genetically tied to the body parts. However, there's evidence of a crime, but they can't tie it to an unknown person. Thank you. Rodney says, regarding the guy being held, they say they found blood on his wall and a sheet in his home. But blood can be anywhere, right? That doesn't, because you find blood in somebody's house doesn't mean anything necessarily. They also found a pile of bloody clothes at OJ's house too. Remember that? They found some clothes in the corner that had blood, which was weird because the blood, it was OJ's blood, but it wasn't Nicole Brown Simpson's blood or Ron Goldman's blood, which was really, really weird. Ray says, if they want to round up the migrants and send them back, that could also be for us to be sent out. I don't think they want to send black people out of the country. We are too big of consumers. We spend a disproportionate amount of our income making other people rich. The things that we buy, they can't live without us. They can't be rich and build empires without the black dollar. So I don't think, because they would have sent us somewhere. Now, what they will do is they'll spend unlimited amounts of money to confine us. That they will do. Because we've always made the case, hey, it costs a lot less to educate a black person than to incarcerate them, which is the truth. But you're missing the point if you think that, like, oh, you could save money if you just invest in our education. Then you would spend less money on the back end when it comes to our incarceration. That ain't the point. They'll spend an unlimited amount of money to incarcerate us. Or they will invest an unlimited amount of faulty education. MPS is getting $250 million. So for those of you that think, oh, if they invest a bunch more money in the education of black and brown children, then we won't go to jail. No, because schools are prison and pipeline. Pipeline to prison. You know what I mean? So when you invest follow me on this. When you invest $250 million into a pipeline to prison, you are fooling people into thinking, oh, if we invest more money in children, then they're less likely to go to jail. No, it's going to fast track them to jail because the education that they are getting, that is being invested in heavily, is making it more conceivable that they will go to jail or that they will drop out. Look at the discipline policies of MPS. 80% of the people that have been suspended have been black. 16,000 kids in the first, school year's almost over. But I was going to say the first 4 months of this year. What else we got here? Sherwin, the guy in Chicago, shot one of the cops first in the hand or wrist. Really? You know what? And it's hard to tell from the video, and I don't want to watch that video again. It's very bad. It's bad. But one of the police officers, because you see what I saw, the video of the man getting shot in Chicago 96 times, is the perspective of one officer's body camera. And that officer, whose body camera you are viewing the scene through, runs in the opposite direction. So maybe, now, doesn't that change the story a little bit? If you shoot a cop, they're going to open fire on you. Cops do not like to get shot at. Rule of thumb. What did Al say? Play Al's thing. Al's one rule, one weapon.
One law, one rule, one standard.
I don't know if that's a good idea. Because Al is basically saying, oh, if a cop shoots you or yours, I don't even feel comfortable saying it. I'd rather nobody shoot anybody. Why don't we hug more people? Be like Dion. Dion just hugs everybody. He's also very sweaty. So, he is. He's always sweating. You can see Dion in the middle of wintertime. He's covered in sweat.
He probably has hyperhidrosis. That's okay.
No, it's not. Not when you want to hug everybody. But Juneteenth is even worse for him. He has hyperhidrosis. Is that the thing when you sweat a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, he probably has that. But in Juneteenth Day, because it's usually hot, he's real sweaty. I got to take a break. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Happy Financial Literacy Month from Educators Credit Union. If you're dreaming of financial freedom, new ways to pay down debt, or tips to invest in your future, Educators Credit Union can help. They offer budgeting tools, personal finance courses, and debt solutions to turn your financial dreams into reality. Learn more at ECU.com. That is ECU.com. Membership at Educators Credit Union is open to anyone who lives or works in southeastern Wisconsin, and they are federally insured by NCUA.
Truth Nation, it's a big week for First Stage. The classic book series is coming to a live stage near you. Diary of a Wimpy Kid musical is coming to life at the First Stage Children's Theater in downtown Milwaukee. Bring the family to see this classic book turned into a musical by visiting firststage.com. The show runs at Marcus Performing Arts Center from April 6th to May 5th. Get your tickets today to see the Diary of a Wimpy Kid musical by visiting firststage.com for tickets.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Melanie Ricks with her truth.
What's up, everybody? It's Melanie Ricks from Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. A thought that I have on my mind today: you have to put out the energy that you want to receive in return. I've noticed recently that I tend to have expectations for others that I don't also have for myself. For example, if I text my friend, I expect them to respond instantly. But if somebody texts me, I'll take my time and respond whenever I'm good and ready to. So why is it that I feel as if others have to get back to me right away if I'm not willing to get back to them? That's just one minor example. But when it comes to work, let's say you're feeling dissatisfied with your job performance, or maybe with the atmosphere, what's going on with work. Perhaps so you're hoping for a promotion of some sort and things just aren't going the way that you want. Okay, so what are you doing to fix that? What are you doing to work your way towards a better work situation? What is the energy that you are putting toward your job, toward your coworkers? Even when it comes to family dynamics and other relationships, or perhaps encounters with strangers. What is the energy that you are giving to the people around you? And what is the energy that you expect in return? I sincerely believe in the law of attraction, and I very much do feel that what you put out is what you will receive. So if you are someone who feels as if you are not getting the best out of things in life, perhaps it's because you are not putting your best foot forward and you are not putting the best energy that you can toward those things. The law of attraction is real, y'all. I'm telling you.
Listen to Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks, weekdays from noon to 1 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Brian said, Sherwin, you may have to put out a call for Eddie to chime in on that one. And Brian sent that at 9:19, so that's when I was talking about the Caucasian fellow, the 50-year-old guy that was shot by the Waukesha police in Waukesha, allegedly attempting to steal a car from CarMax. I'm not putting a call out to Eddie for anything. Eddie hasn't called my show in years, and we're going to keep it that way. I think y'all want certain people to call so that you all can be entertained, but I get very frustrated. When my voice gets like this, you guys ever know it? I'm like, hey, I get hot. Some of y'all get me very angry, and I got to keep my composure.
Trying to get that alter ego to come out.
Barack Drama, you don't want him to come out. You don't like the policy he makes. You don't want to see him legislate. Barack Drama. Brian also says, from my view, it's just white folks don't give a sugar honey iced tea about their own, period. It's complicated. Wealthy white people hate poor white people as much as they hate black people. Fact. Donald Trump doesn't have an affection for his supporters. And his supporters are not traditional old school conservative Republicans. His supporters are not necessarily like Ronald Reagan Republicans. His supporters have had a history of inconsistent political involvement. In fact, some of Donald Trump's supporters, some of MAGA Nation, believe it or not, some of them actually voted for Barack Obama. They are politically disconnected. The world is changing. The world is becoming much more automated. They used to work in factories and they used to work in plants. They used to work in manufacturing. A lot of those jobs are gone. They're also seeing an influx of immigrants coming into their community. They also were hit very, very hard by the opioid crisis, which is hitting, quite honestly, the entire country. And they feel disconnected. There's this thing called the deaths of despair. You should look it up. Even prior to COVID, life expectancy for white men was going down because depression, alcoholism, suicide, drug use, drug abuse, and overdoses, these white men were feeling very disconnected. Then Donald Trump came along and knew this about them and told them everything that they wanted to hear. He gave them a sense of hope. He gave them a sense of pride. He gave them a sense of unity. But he didn't do it because he cares about them. He did it because he is trying to manipulate them, and they're easy to manipulate. Desperate people are easy to manipulate. People with low self-esteem and low value and low self-worth are easy to manipulate. Why do you think that certain racial groups in this country are such big consumers? Because they feel like crap about themselves. And when you buy things, when you purchase things, when you use your material possessions to give you status, it's because you're empty inside. That is something you got to be mindful of. Those people are easily manipulated. And Donald Trump, being the salesman that he is, he manipulated those folks, but he doesn't love them. Rich white people in this country have had a history of hating the poor of any race. You ever wonder why there was so much, and it still is so much poverty in the South that is not necessarily tied to one race? The South is poor. And it goes back to many generations of intergenerational poverty in the South. Think about this for a second. This is how the institution of slavery, and this is the only thing I want them to teach in schools. If they teach nothing else about the legacy of slavery, the institution of slavery harmed white people just as much as it harmed black people, but in different ways. It was subhuman to us. It killed us. It maimed us. It did horrible things to us, but it was an economic proposition. If I can purchase human beings to perform all of the labors that I need on my plantation so that my plantation is profitable, then I'm not going to hire a white person to do the work. So while you can purchase human beings for their labor, you're not also going to hire people. Now, you may hire some, a few, to be overseers, to be slave catchers. But if you look at the number of black people that were forced to work on a plantation, let's say in some cases with a large plantation, it's hundreds of people. There's not a corresponding number of hundreds of white people that are also getting paid a wage. White people weren't getting hired at all. They were left to their own devices of poverty. And those white people, because they couldn't get jobs in certain small towns because slaves performed all of the labor. We weren't just picking cotton, tobacco, rice, and sugar cane. We did everything. We were blacksmiths. We were carpenters. We did all of the labors that were necessary. And they were not hiring white people to do the things that they could purchase a black person to do. And so that poverty that was installed in white Southern America back in the 17th, 18th, and even 19th centuries is still there to this day. That's why the South is still notoriously anti-union. You do not want workers to have any kind of rights in a region of the country where workers had zero rights. That's why the automakers have all moved down south. You got Nissan, Mercedes, BMW. You guys ever notice that? That a lot of imports, automakers have plants down south. And why would they locate down south? Because there's no unions and you can pay people $7 an hour to make a BMW. You ain't got to take my word for it. You look it up. Whole bunch of car companies are Kentucky, Tennessee. James J says, good morning, Sherwin. What happened when you visited the MPS school yesterday? Got canceled. Got canceled. But stay tuned to that. It's hopefully getting rescheduled. Let's see what else we got here. And these messages are coming from 833-212-1017. Bradford says, O.J. Simpson would have been convicted if the crooked cop didn't try to plant extra evidence. Because they made it about the credibility of Mark Furman. Apparently he said the N-word on a recorded tape, and Johnny Cochran was able to get a hold of it. Well, I should say the defense was able to get a hold of one of the investigating officers, Mark Furman, saying the N-word, and they said, the whole case is tainted because Mark Furman is a racist. Speaking of the OJ defense team, one of OJ's lawyers was a guy named Robert Kardashian. Yep, that Kardashian. The one that had a bunch of daughters, Kim, Khloe. What's the other Kardashian daughter? The Kardashian, there's other ones. There's
Courtney.
And then what's the other girl?
Kylie?
But Kylie's a Jenner because Kris.
Kendall.
Who's Kylie? Kylie Jenner.
Kylie, yeah.
There's a Kylie Jenner and a Kendall Jenner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But those are Kris Jenner's kids by Bruce Jenner, who is now Caitlyn.
Oh.
Because Bruce Jenner, who was like a real good Olympic athlete in the 70s and the 80s, he's a woman now. He's transgender. You didn't know that? The Kris Kardashian married Bruce Jenner. Bruce Jenner is now Caitlyn Jenner. And Caitlyn Jenner in 2015, only after transitioning for maybe like a year, won Woman of the Year as a transgender woman. Now, I don't really involve myself in those kind of matters because I will admit when I'm unfamiliar with something and I'm unfamiliar with, like, I know the basic details of the transgenderism, but if there was someone who lived like 55 years of their life as a woman and then they transitioned to be a man on their 56th year on Earth. So for 55 years, they were a woman. And then on year 56, they said, it's not working out for me. I want to be a dude. Whatever. But then if they win Man of the Year, as a man, I'd be like, hello. You know what I mean? So, and there's a negative term for, they're called TERFs. They are trans, exclusionary, radical feminists. And these are women, biological cisgender women. A lot of times they're heterosexual. Sometimes they may not be. But they're biological women that live their lives as women that are upset with trans women because they think that trans women are like making fun of or mocking biological women. And the lady who wrote the Harry Potter books, is it J.K. Rowling? Is that the one? Or did she write Harry Potter?
I've never read one of those books in my life.
Yeah, I haven't either. But apparently she got called out because she, as a biological cisgender heterosexual woman, is offended by trans women because she believes that trans women are mocking biological women. And it's a very complicated situation because if you lived your life as a man, I can speak 100% to the fact that men have privileges in this country, in this society. We do. But then to live your life as a man, marginalizing and subjugating women, and then transitioning to being a woman, it just seems unfair that you get to live your life as a man where you get great benefits, but then you transition to be a woman and are expected to be respected as an actual woman, even though you spent the majority of your life probably participating in the marginalization of women. I know that was a lot, but I'm a lot, and you like a lot. That's why you listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. We got Linda on line 1. We'll talk to her next.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, tune in Wednesday night at 6 p.m. for the Thanalysis podcast and the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Thanasis will be joined by Duke basketball legend Jay Williams and Bucks guard Malik Beasley. They will have a real conversation about life as well as deep dives of the NBA world. Do not miss the Thanalysis podcast on The Truth Wednesday night at 6 p.m. on 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Hey Milwaukee, my name is Martina and I'm with the Independent Living Supports Pilot Program team. We help adults 55 plus and those 18 plus living with disabilities, providing up to $7,200 for home services, medical equipment, home modifications, and more. There's less than 30 days left to sign up for this program. See if you qualify today. Call 414-289-6874. Again, that's 414-289-6874. This program is made possible by Milwaukee County and Wisconsin Department of Health and Human Services.
Riverside Theater on April 26th will be the place to be. The One World Music Festival is coming to Milwaukee, and it will feature great local artists that you don't want to miss. Performances by Chicken P, 414 Big Frank, and many more. There will also be special tributes to honor artists of the past, like the great Cuckoo Cow, Baby Drew, and Ray Nitty. April 26th. Get your tickets today by visiting PatsTheaterGroup.com and search One World Music Festival.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right, let's talk to Linda. This will be great. Hello, Linda.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Get your intro out the way.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning, good comment brand. And good morning to all the good black and white people of Milwaukee. This is a very touching, emotional morning. And I would like to say that, first of all, America is in a state of crisis. The corruption, the murder, the mayhem, from the White House to the outhouse, from the top to the bottom, from the bottom up. And man, it's like, wow. I'm just so emotional and at a loss for words for the state of humanity in this world, and particularly America, and specifically Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I mean, really, like...
It's not that bad, is it, Linda? There's good things that happen in Milwaukee.
Huh?
It's not that bad. There's good things that happen in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's bad when you look at it on a global state and when you look at the constant digression of humanity. Yes, we are not progressing. No, you would expect that. But due to the evil powers that be, we on the ground, we working class, we poor, and we working, and we Americans who are feeling the pressure and the brunt of this system that has led so many of us astray. So I'm not surprised at the insanity that is taking place.
Linda, you're not
Okay?
poor.
Because we got dignified people who are orchestrating wars and justifying it. And then on the other end, those same dignitarians are
Dehumanizing or dehumidifying?
Yes,
Yeah, yes.
yes. That word. On the other end.
Dr.
And
Linda
I would
Luther
just
King
say,
today.
I would just say to us all to pray for peace upon this world and this country and these people. These are expressions of suffering. But I'd also like to end on this note, on a positive note. God is still on the throne and allows us to see the darkness and the devastation of our souls, to learn the lesson of how far deep down we can go down that dark rabbit hole.
Well, talk to them.
But
They can't
if
hear
we
you.
choose life, if
Come
we
on.
choose life, if
Well.
we choose love and we walk in that love and we walk in that light, I guarantee you, those that have and those that have not will come together as God designed humanity to do. And I'd also like to say this, Sherwin. I was wondering last night, whatever happened to the good white man? You know, that good white man. That good white man that, you know, just have a good conversation with, you know, that you ain't got to look at him as the face of devil and evil. You know,
There's a lot of good white men out there, Linda. There's plenty. Tell you what, there's plenty of good white men out there. Get real dressed up in some of your
I
finest
know,
going
but
out
where
wear
are they?
and go to a bar, and I
Because a lot
guarantee
of-
one of them will come up to you.
And I guarantee you a lot of them have taken their own life. The media is not telling us how many of these good white male doctors are committing suicide, how many of these good white men are taking their lives because they see what white power has done. But I'm just saying, nobody's talking about that. And it just bothers me. It baffles me. It really does. But I said this the other day, that Milwaukee is getting more and more weird, and we can't keep judging and blaming, because blaming the person, I'm saying, because look at the conditions we're living under. It would drive anybody crazy, but to the extent that a person has lost touch with reality to a point where you just taking black women and dismembering them?
We don't know that,
Why?
Linda.
What message?
We don't know. Don't say that.
Okay, I'll give you that in a court of law, but in the social court, you know, like you just said, you know, I'm just, you know, listen, I'm grasping for answers, solutions, understanding as to the mindset, you know, because that's why I'm going into educational psychology too, because apparently the powers that be knows how we got here, but we don't. And that's why we need more educated children to go into politics, to go into psychology and psychiatry and weapons of war. You know, we need good-hearted people that's behind this type of power, man.
I understand, Linda, and I have
All
to
right,
go.
bye-bye.
All right, then. So I don't understand. So she's looking for good white men, but white doctors are committing suicide and nobody's talking about it. So is that why she can't find a good white man?
Book of Revelation, chapter 7.
Thank you guys for listening. It has been an absolute pleasure. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you again very soon.
One law, one rule, one standard.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. Milwaukee, we are in the heart of the basketball season, and we have all the local hoops news you need to hear. Get your weekly smile on with our Nothing But the Truth Basketball Report, brought to you by Bouban Orthodontics. On Nothing But the Truth, we'll keep you in the loop on all the local Milwaukee hoops news, from high school all the way to the pros. So don't miss your shot to join